Hola a todos, queridos mancos. Ya siento este ratito de negro, ¿vale? Pero me ha surgido un problema personal y tenía que solucionarlo. Bueno, pues como ya os he comentado por las redes sociales, soy tampoco de Ghost of Tsushima. Lo siento. Ya sé que os he fallado 2 días ya. Pero bueno. Eh, Ayer pues me fue imposible. O sea, el trabajo fue bastante agotador, necesitaba descansar. Y bueno, pues es lo que hay. Pues eso, y hoy pues he visto que se emitía hoy los Golden Joystick Awards. Me apetecía. ¡Oli! Que me apetecía verlos en plan para hacer algo diferente, que no hacer siempre en plan juego, Among Us, juego. Es un poco algo distinto. Y bueno, aunque ponía que era a las 20:30, la hora de Greenwich, claro, la hora de Greenwich es una hora más. Entonces es a las 9:30. En 40 minutos empezamos. Solo causar ese efecto en la gente, pero vale. Gracias. Pero eso, pues nada, que en 40 minutos así empezamos y vamos a ver qué es lo que se reparte. Es que a ver, es verdad, llevo 15 minutos emitiendo nada, entonces pues bueno. Eh, ya está un poco solucionado, aunque todavía no lo esté. Pero bueno, primero vamos a repasar un poco los nominados, ¿vale? El Game of the Year no me sale, no lo he encontrado de los Game Radars, ¿vale? Que estos los da la prensa, para que sepáis. Vale. Y entonces, pues eso. Vamos a ver un poco lo que las nominaciones y tal. Los nominaciones a Game of the Year no las he encontrado. Pero bueno, mejor audio. The Last of Us parte 2. Ghost of Tsushima. Bueno, si eso os lo pongo aquí y así lo veis también, ¿vale? Vale, pero haz la transición ya que haz la transición. Eso es. Pues eso, mejor audio de Last of Us parte 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Paradise Killer, Call of Duty Warzone, Half-Life Alyx, Streets of Rage 4 y Resident Evil 3. ¡Ay! El Kokoro me dice que se tiene que llevar Resident Evil 3. Pero claro, Tsushima tiene un audio de la hostia. Fallen Order también. De Last of Us seguro que también. Call of Duty también. O sea, no sé. A ver qué decide aquí la prensa. Mejor comunidad. O mejor, sí. Mejor comunidad de un juego. Fall Guys, Minecraft, Animal Crossing, Dreams, Sea of Thieves, Warframe, Fortnite y Final Fantasy XIV. Yo votaría por Fall Guys, porque la verdad es que la comunidad de Fall Guys ha sido bastante guay. También la de Animal Crossing, pero Animal Crossing es que es tan de todo el mundo, no sé cómo decirlo. Y luego, mejor juego familiar. Animal Crossing, New Horizons, Fall Guys, Pokémon Sword and Shield, Minecraft Dungeons, Paper Mario, The Origami King, Moving Out, Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics, Super Mario 3D All Stars. Yo aquí sí tiraría por Animal Crossing o Fall Guys. Porque es que también al Fall Guys ha jugado todo el mundo. El que no haya jugado a Fall Guys es que... en fin, no es persona, no es gay. Aunque sea con el plus cuando lo dieron, o sea, como todos. Pero bueno. Mejor expansión. El AOE de Control, No Más Scans Origins, Total War Warhammer 2 The Warden of the Punch, Pokémon Sword and Shield Expansion Pass, Final Fantasy XIV el parche 5.3 Reflection in Crystal. Hostia, no le pongas parche 5.3, pon Final Fantasy XIV Reflexions in Crystal, queda un poquito mejor, ¿no? Sí, estoy de acuerdo. Animal Crossing no tiene comunidad, es una sociedad aparte, porque es que la gente que no es gamer ha jugado al Animal Crossing. Y por eso a mí cuando la... De hecho he visto antes un meme que era en plan, ¿pero eres gamer o es que solo juegas al Animal Crossing? Para mí eso no es ser gamer, ¿vale? O sea, que me perdonen desde aquí todos los jugadores del Animal Crossing, ¿vale? De hecho tengo una amiga, Andrea Kenji, que le encanta el Animal Crossing y a ver, o sea, yo no digo que no, ella no sea gamer, pero es diferente, o sea... ¿Qué más? The Sims 4 Star Wars Journey of the Batu, Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath y The After Wars Peril of On Gorgon. Hombre, a ver, yo es que el de Control de Alan Wake me parece muy bueno. Y eso que todavía no he jugado ni siquiera a Control. A ver cuando me quería comprar la Complete Edition, pero me la han retrasado el año que viene. ¡Cabrones! Pero bueno, pero me parece un DLC muy guapo. Los demás, pues bueno. Y el de Mortal Kombat 11 también debe estar muy bien. La verdad es que han ampliado mucho la historia. Best Gaming Hardware. PC Engine Mini. Que se me hace gracia. Oculus Quest 2, Razer Kiss Mobile Path for Xcloud, Nvidia GeForce RTX 3080, TCA Joystick Airbus Edition, Bunka 120 AIMO Keyboard y Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 2. Menos la PC Engine Mini, que se lo lleve cualquiera. O sea, incluso las Oculus Quest. Vale, el mejor juego indie. Kentucky Route Zero, Factorio, Spelunky 2, Paradise Killer, Krix, Hades, Lair of the Clockwork God y... Sí, Clockwork God y Necrobarista. Vale, se darán a 3080. Vale, bien, tú sabes más que yo de eso. Y el Hades, yo creo que este año va a ser como lo fue el año pasado el Disco Elysium. Que ni lo sé ni yo. Me encanta. Que ni siquiera tú tampoco sepas. Vale. Yo he hecho, mira, Oculus Quest, pues porque sí. Porque el tema de la realidad virtual tiene que un poco que seguir abriéndose un poco. Hacerse más accesible, yo creo. Pues eso, y el Hades yo creo que va a ser este año lo que fue Disco Elysium el año pasado. Que de hecho a los Game Awards está nominado también al mejor juego del año. Y espérate, o sea que igual se hace un Disco Elysium y se lo lleva, o sea, y le hace Tsushima y a The Last of Us Parte 2 de Final Fantasy VII Remake en plan pasar de la mano por la cara. Hay uno que sí son teclados, el Vulcan 120 Imo Keyboard sí. El Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 2 Turtle entiendo que será un ratón. Pero no tengo ni puta idea. El Razer Kishi Mobile Path for Xcloud creo que es un... Pues eso, un mando para la Xcloud. Y el TCA Joystick Airbus Edition creo que es un stick para joder, el Flight Simulator. Creo, no lo sé, no lo sé. O sea, simplemente por lo que pone en el nombre, yo he hecho mis propias conclusiones, ¿vale? Que conste. Vale, y entonces, el mejor juego indie. Vale, bueno, acabo de quedar un poco mal, pero vale, gracias. Eh, he dicho, Turtle Beach. Los ratones tienen como forma de tortuga. Es un ratón. Y me queda más ancho que largo. Ya está. Lo que decíamos, el mejor juego indie. Tú, Miquel, has jugado al Spelunky, ¿no? ¿Tú dirías que se lo podría llevar por encima de todos estos el premio? No sé. Pero bueno, sigamos. Mejor juego multijugador. Que aquí también tela. Fall Guys, Call of Duty Warzone, Animal Crossing New Horizons. ¿Se consideraría invadir islas multijugador? Será el Hades, ¿no? Es que no sé. O sea, el Hades era como. Está también en todos los lados, me llama la atención. Pues estaba diciendo, o sea, el Animal Crossing New Horizons, Deep Rock Galactic, eso. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1-2. The Dark Pictures Anthology Little Hope. Moving Out y Valorant. A ver. Si nos ponemos realistas, esto se lo tenía que llevar Fall Guys. Y porque no está Among Us. Si no, se lo llevaría Among Us, te lo juro. Estaría entre Fall Guys y Among Us la cosa. Pero. Hombre, a ver, el Little Hope también sí tiene multijugador. Tienes multijugador. El Kiss es un mando para móviles. El Vulcano 120 es un teclado que ronda los 150 y tardes son cascos. Vale, Moving Out es puta mierda. Vale, perfecto. El Valorant es que lo veo tan. A ver, no es como el Fortnite, ¿vale? Si me estás viendo, Kevin, te pido perdón, porque mi compañero. Es un Counter-Strike, correcto, es verdad, es un poco un. Pero más. Fantasía. Porque puedes usar magia, puedes usar. Pero sí, es un Counter-Strike, tal cual. O sea, es que hay mapas que me recuerdan al Counter-Strike. Porque de hecho, yo desde aquí tengo a mi compañero Kevin de trabajo, Ikif, que es mi moderador, pero nunca está. Y de hecho tengo 5 moderadores y nunca coinciden en el chat, es la hostia. Pero a lo que voy, que él juega mogollón a Valorant y le gusta mogollón. Es lo que estaba diciendo, o sea, tiene que ser Fall Guys. Te puedo comprar Little Hope, que para mí tampoco es multijugador, aunque sí que lo es, tiene multijugador online y offline. Offline hasta 5 personas. Perfecto. Pero. Y el Warzone es que es un Fortnite, pero de Call of Duty. O sea, es que. Y también tengo un mogollón de compañeros de trabajo que juegan al Warzone. De hecho, me dicen para jugar y yo como. Quiero pasarme más tiempo viva que muerta. Y entonces. No sé. No sé. Pero ya te digo que yo aquí se lo tendría que llevar el Fall Guys. O sea. Eso es, o sea. Es lo que decía yo, invadir islas. Pero en plan. Tú has sido más sutil en ese sentido. Pero por eso que ya Animal Crossing no lo veo como multijugador. Entonces, pues bueno, yo se lo tendría que llevar Fall Guys. Entre todo esto se lo tendría que llevar Fall Guys. Igual luego. Sin duda, sí, sí, ahí estamos de acuerdo. Vale, mejor storytelling. The Last of Us Parte 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Yakeru 0 TV Edition, Necrobarista, Paradise Killer, Hades, Sign of Sojourner o If Found. Sí, pero es que multijugador. Es que por eso, que a mí no me. No, no, no. No, no me cuela. Eso es. Pero bueno, mejor storytelling, pues eso. Mejor guión, yo le llamaría así. Yo es que, a ver, como de Last of Us Parte 2 no he jugado todavía, porque no me lo he comprado. Lo tengo ahí pendiente, estaba súper barato. Los dos, el Chushi y de Last of Us Parte 2 están a 35 pavos por el puto Black Friday de los cojones, pero como no puedo comprar nada, pues. Qué putada. Pero por eso, pero teniendo en cuenta que los demás tampoco los he jugado, es que yo me doy por Tsushima. Es lo que tú dices. O sea, que lo que hablábamos antes, si se lleva el premio de mejor comunidad, que estaba por aquí, eso es, mejor comunidad. A ver, a mí la de Fall Guys también me parece muy sana, pero a ver, seamos realistas. La comunidad. Joder, que en Animal Crossing han hecho Resident Evil, la mansión Spencer. Para mí que se lleven el premio. O sea, toda la comunidad y todo, incluso skins de Resident Evil, de Jill del 3, de. La comunidad de Animal Crossing es la mejor, sin duda. O sea, si nos ponemos así, han hecho cosas que son flipantes. Como en su día fue la de Minecraft, ¿vale? O sea, cuando las distancias. Pero me refiero por crear, innovar y hacer. Pero mejor juego multi, Fall Guys, es así. O sea, mejor comunidad, es que se lo lleva Animal Crossing. Pero mejor juego multijugador, no hay más. Y luego eso, mejor. Oiga. Joder, que se me va esto. Mejor guión. Yo es que, a ver, digo, sin haber jugado de Last of Us Parte 2, que tiene que tener una narrativa muy buena, yo es que me quedo con Tsushima, que es que la narrativa es la polla. Y luego está el culo de Jin que ayuda mucho. Y tú lo sabes. Pero a ver si. Encima es que está todo muy bien metido para la historia, las misiones secundarias, las misiones estas. Joder, pues eso, las que son. Ay, joder, no me sale la palabra. Las que vas a hablar con los músicos y todo eso, que te cuentan un poco el lore de la isla y todo eso. O sea, está súper bien integrado dentro de la historia principal, ¿sabes? Pero sí, sí. Es que para mí se le llevaría. Igual se le lleva a Hades, ¿no? También, porque. Al pelotazo, pero sí. Mejor diseño visual. Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Ori and the Will of Wisp, Spiritfarer, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Half-Life Alyx, The Last of Us Parte 2 y Final Fantasy VII Remake. A ver, a ver. Yo sé que no juego al Ori, pero es que visualmente Ori es precioso, no lo siguiente. O sea, Ori, que den a Hades. No he jugado, déjame. O sea, Ori es preciosísimo. Sí, a ver, Transgresor no es Chusi, pero me parece un juego muy redondo. A ver, ya te digo que no me lo he terminado. Igual de repente luego tiene ahí un giro de guión que dices, para matarlos, ¿no? Pero de momento no sé. A mí el guión, o sea, está muy bien contado, está incluso todo, o sea, no solamente hablo como la historia principal, ¿eh? O sea, hablo todo en general. Está muy bien hilado y bien metido dentro de la narrativa, o sea, no sé, no sé. Está muy bien. Pero, a ver, sí que es verdad que es muy ir a lo seguro porque tampoco se han querido arriesgar demasiado por el miedo a lo de que sea un juego japonés hecho por americanos. Que eso Sucker Punch tenía mucho miedo y fíjate al final. Pero, a ver, sí que es verdad que visualmente Tsushima es preciosísimo. O sea, pero es que Ori es más bonito todavía. Y es que incluso más bonito también que Final Fantasy VII Remake y que The Last of Us Part 2. En Microsoft Flight Simulator es que es un poco un Google Maps en el aire. Entonces no sé si tiene tanto. Y el Half-Life, pues bueno, pues Half-Life. Yo lo que he visto, está bien. A ver, joder, yo sé el guión lo que sé, pero vamos, que te quiero decir que. Yo lo que he visto, vete, que igual luego se lo lleva a Hades, que igual está mucho mejor contada la historia o lo que sea, porque también el año pasado se le llevó Disco Elysium. Entonces, por eso, que es que igual Hades se pasa por. Les pasa la mano por la cara. Es que no olvidemos eso. Y es que te digo, mejor diseño visual es que tiene que ser Ori. O sea, es tan bonito, es precioso. Y no los he jugado todavía, los quiero jugar en la Xbox. Pero bueno, los puedo jugar creo que también en el PC con el Game Pass. Pero vamos, que es que. No sé. Es que a ver, si por ejemplo. Y vale que no he jugado, entonces no lo sé. Pero por lo que sé, por lo que he leído, sí que podría ser más transgresor en el sentido en el que tú dices de las Tofas parte 2. Que se han arriesgado mucho más. A pesar de que podrían. Bueno, ha habido mucho hateo, ¿no? en la comunidad. Podría ser, pero no sé. ¿Que Tsushima es un juego más que cumple? Sí, por el riesgo precisamente lo que te digo, que han tenido mucho miedo en ese sentido. Claro, es que también yo cuando lo he visto así, vídeos y tal y gameplays, es como, vale, sí, pues eso. Es un Half-Life, pues, de la generación actual, pues sí, tiene que tener mejoras visuales, es que es evidente, o sea, estamos en el 2020. Pero, no sé, es que no, por eso, para mí, todo esto, o sea, todos los demás, no están a la altura de Ori. Y eso que el primero ya era muy bonito, y es que el segundo es precioso. Vale, eSports Game of the Year. Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Siege, League of Legends, Valorant, Fortnite, NTT IndyCar Series y Racing, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, FIFA 20 y Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Vale. ¿Por qué todos, a excepción del FIFA, son de tiros? O sea, hay juegos eSports. Bueno, menos League of Legends también, perdón. Pero hay juegos de lucha también, bien metidos en los eSports. ¿Por qué no está ahí un Street Fighter 5, por ejemplo? No me loco, que está más enfocado a los eSports desde hace bastantes años, por eso no hay todavía un Street Fighter 6. Pero es curioso. De hecho, creo que también en los Game Awards, que serán el mes que viene, el día 10 también, creo que también ves el mejor eSports del año y es como, no hay ni un puto juego de lucha. Y luego, si nos ponemos también en estos como los juegos de lucha, como que ahora mismo son un poco apestados. Vale, igual ahora me miráis mal, ¿no? Pero yo sigo la mierda esta de Top Gamers Academy, ¿vale? El gran hermano este de gamers que se ha creado Neos. Y si os dais cuenta, ¿qué les enseñan? Fortnite, Gran Turismo y por qué PlayStation mete pasta. Y el Joder, el Clash of Royale, creo que es un juego de móvil. ¿Por qué no le metemos un Street Fighter? ¿Por qué no metemos, no sé, otra cosa? Y ha habido, han jugado al Fall Guys porque PlayStation ha dicho, como lo está petando, también hacer vuestros torneos de Fall Guys. Han jugado a The Last of Us porque querían enseñarles desde la Fundación 11 cómo The Last of Us ayudaba pues, a gente discapacitada pues, que pueda seguir un juego en ese sentido. Pero un poco lo han metido con calzador. Pero si quieres dedicarte a los eSports, tienes que tocar todos los juegos, o sea, todos los palos. Y yo creo que los juegos de lucha es un juego importante, mueve también un mogollón de gente y de pasta los juegos de lucha. Y me da pena. Pero bueno. Mejor juego de móvil. Y aquí es que no sé lo que se le tenía que llevar. O sea, al final se acaba llevando Fortnite porque mete pasta. Se lo lleva todos los años. Sí mueven, sí mueven. Sí. Igual más en Estados Unidos que aquí, pero mueven pasta. Vale, mejor juego de móvil del año. Game of Thrones Tale of Crows. Lego Builder's Journey. Little Orpheus. Net Stops No Here. Round Guard. Bird Alone. A Monster's Inspection y If Found. ¿Por qué no está ahí Among Us? Cuando salga, entonces no puede estar ahí. Bonito. Lo que tiene que estar es Among Us ahí. Pero bueno. Si somos un poco tiquismiquis, como Among Us tiene 3 años y se ha hecho famoso ahora, pues entonces no cuenta. Pero yo ya, pues yo qué sé. El de Lego, el de Juego de Tronos, ya que sé, no juego a móviles, de verdad. O sea, el Among Us lo juego en PC, o sea que... Vale, mejor juego del año de Nintendo. Esto te interesa, Miki. Animal Crossing New Horizons, Pokémon Sword and Shield, Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training for Nintendo Switch, Super Mario 3D All Stars, Paper Mario de Origami King, Super Mario Bros. 35, Ninjala y Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. Hombre, yo aquí no veo mucha novedad, o sea, porque Super Mario 35 es un refrito del Tetris 99, que puede estar bien y ya me contaste que estaba guay y tal. El Super Mario 3D All Stars es un port de los juegos a Switch. Vale, ya está, si no interesa, aquí no hay debate. Vale, mejor juego de PC del año. Paradise Killer, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Hades, The Walking Dead Sight and Sinners. Ah, salió también por PC. Crusader Kings 3, Valorant, Half-Life Alyx y Death Stranding. ¡Death Stranding! Mira, si se lo lleva Death Stranding, en vez del año pasado, me echo unas risas. Me echo unas risas. Pero... no sé. Aquí el experto en PC, ¿qué dice? No se pronuncia. Pero yo qué sé. ¿Verdad? O sea, es el mismo de todos los años. Pero es que este año, no sé, será que como han jugado los influencers, seguro, seguro. Es que ya te digo, a mí me parece, yo lo poco que he visto, es como, es un Google Maps, pero desde el aire. O sea, sí puedes ver de cualquier parte del mundo y está bastante bien plasmado, pero no sé. Es igual, es que el Microsoft Flight Simulator lleva siendo así desde que éramos nosotros pequeños. Lo que pasa es que antes los píxeles eran así de gordos. Pero bueno, yo solamente por el hateo, yo diría que se lo tiene que llevar Kojima. Para pasarles así por la cara. Vale. Mejor juego de PlayStation del año. The Last of Us Parte 2. Nioh 2. Ghost of Tsushima. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Marvel's Iron Man VR. Spelunky 2. Dreams y Fall Guys. Sí, ¿eh? Es que para el rollo simulador de vuelo debe ser muy bueno. Pero no sé, te digo que no idea. Pero... a ver. Los de Play... A ver, de las tofas es que tampoco no puedo hablar, no me lo voy a jugar. Nioh 2 es que... es que es un Dark Souls. Es que... sí que es verdad que Nioh creo que fue antes que Dark Souls, pero me da igual. O sea, Ghost of Tsushima sí podría ser. Final Fantasy VII Remake no, porque es el primer capítulo. Cuando llegue el último, que se lo lleve. O sea, es un juego incompleto. El Marvel's Iron Man VR está guay. Yo cuando se lo vi a Javi en la demo, sí, o sea, las tofas son Tsushima, sí, eso es. Si se le lleva Fall Guys, me ha hecho unas risas, pero Dreams también tiene muy buena comunidad, también. Spelunky no creo, pero sí, o sea, es que no sé. Es que pensar, si dices Marvel's Iron, Spider-Man, pero bueno, Spider-Man es viejo, pero el Miles Morales, aunque sea. Pero estará entre Chusi y The Last of Us, sí, totalmente. Mejor juego de Xbox del año. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1-2, Deep Rock Galactic, Ori and the Will of Wisp, Bleeding Edge, Minecraft Dungeons, Wasteland 3, Yakuza 0 y Tell Me Why. Aquí no hay discusión. Yakuza 0. El Dreams también empezó fuerte, es verdad. Empezó fuerte, pero se ha ido desinflando. Pero también ha tenido muy buena comunidad, hasta hace poco. Es verdad que se ha metido buena hostia. Pero bueno, aquí, a ver, si se lo lleva Ori, me encantará, porque es un juego. Pero es que Yakuza 0 a mí me toca la patata Yakuzil y no. Y eso que está, Yakuza 0, porque lo han metido este año en el Game Pass, ¿eh? O sea, es como... y por eso está, es un juego del 2000... ¿cuánto? ¿Qué pone aquí? Del 17. Tiene 3 años este juego. ¡Qué fuerte! Pero ahora mismo, hasta ahora, es el mejor Yakuza de todos. Y juego solamente al 1. Bueno, y el Dead Souls y tal. Pero bueno, el Dead Souls es un House of the Dead, básicamente. Pero bueno. Still playing. Final Fantasy XIV, Sea of Thieves, Fortnite, Apex Legends, Pokémon GO, Grand Theft Auto Online, Pug. ¿Sigue alguien jugando al Pug todavía? Y Minecraft. Yo diría Pokémon GO, fíjate. Porque es que gente de mi curro sigue cazando Pokémon, o sea que... Pero bueno, también el GTA ha tenido una época con el roleplay y todo eso, cuando lo ha estado jugando durante el confinamiento toda esta gente y tal, y bueno, estaba bien. Pero... vete a saber. Vale, esto todavía son y 20 quedan 10 minutos. Pokémon GO, sí, Pokémon GO. Yo creo que aquí no hay discusión, ¿eh? O sea, porque ni siquiera el Final Fantasy XIV, ¿eh? Con tantas ahí parches que le han metido y mierdas, nada. Tiene mérito, sí. Vale, mejor estudio del año. Mediatonic, Naughty Dog, Respawn, Paradox, Development Studio, Sucker Punch, Infinity Ward, Media Molecule y Supergiant Games. Y yo, sinceramente, voy a barrer para casa y diría Mediatonic. Precisamente, ¿por qué? Porque un estudio pequeñito, español, que haya conseguido con Fall Guys lo que ha conseguido, se merece que se lleve el premio, sinceramente. O sea, por lo que ha conseguido y tan rápido y todo, o sea, Respawn ha hecho un juegazo, Naughty Dog ha hecho un juegazo, Sucker Punch ha hecho un juegazo. Pero es que yo creo que lo de Mediatonic tiene más mérito que de todo lo demás, porque los otros son grandes. Y estos es que, no sé, es mi forma de pensar. Y ahora vamos al juego más deseado. Hitman 3, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Halo Infinite, Resident Evil 8 Village, Deathloop, Horizon Forbidden West, Kerbal Space Program 2, Elden Ring, Gotham Knights, God of War Ragnarok, Starfield y The Medium. ¡Ah! ¡No me hagas esto! ¡No me hagas esto! A ver, sí, lo de Sucker Punch tiene también mogollón, o sea, no es fácil lo que han hecho. Pero ten en cuenta... Venga, hombre, Gotham, por favor. Por favor. Pero... Joder. Vale. Pues mira, entonces se lo lleva Respawn por hacer un pedazo de juegazo de Star Wars, que hacía mucho que no se hacía un juego de Star Wars. No, a ver, no sé, a ver, si es verdad que Sucker Punch se han arriesgado mucho, porque en un principio lo que querían hacer era de piratas, y fíjate lo que ha quedado. Es verdad, no sale Cyberpunk. No, porque antes me sale Medium y Medium tiene una pintaza brutal también. O sea. No, pero luego saldrá el del Ring porque habrá venido el puto Miyazaki y les habrá comprado a todos, seguro. O God of War. Pero sí. A ver, es que Village es muy deseado. Muy deseado. Exactamente. Será el más esperado del 2077. ¿Pero por qué? Porque todos estos salen el año que viene. Cyberpunk sale el 10 de diciembre. O eso esperamos. O esperáis, mejor dicho. Si no se acaba de retrasar más. Muy buena pregunta. ¿Qué significa que no sea? ¿Que es que nadie ya lo quiere? Que sí, la gente lo quiere. O que nadie cree que vaya a salir. Creo que es más lo segundo. Sí, ya debería haber salido, pero en principio ahora va a salir el 10 de diciembre. Qué curioso, el 10 de diciembre. Muchas cosas se juntan ese día. Pero sí, sí. Yo creo que es por eso, porque todos estos van a salir el mes que viene. O sea, el año que viene, perdón. En cambio, Cyberpunk sale el mes que viene. Así que. Pero. Y muchos ni siquiera tienen fecha, ¿eh? Porque God of War. ¿Elden Ring? Es que por eso que. Hay otros que sí que se saben. Hitman sale a primeros de año. Ratchet Clank también. Creo que también sale a primeros de año. Resident Evil 8 Village sabemos que sale en mayo. Por gracias a las filtraciones de Capcom. Ni si... Pero es que hay gente que lo tiene reservado ya y todo desde hace tiempo, ¿eh? Y conozco a 2 o 3 que lo tienen reservado. Creo que cada uno para una plataforma diferente. Pero sí. Y... ¿Y? Deathloop también sale, creo que en marzo o abril. Horizon Forbidden West creo que salía a mediados también. No empecemos con la guerra de PC y consolas, ¿eh? No empecemos. El Kerbal Space Program 2, no sé cuál es. El del Ring, pues eso. Sí, ya, hombre. Sacarás todo el potencial, obviamente. Pero yo he visto vídeos que ha hecho la propia CD Projekt Red en Twitch el otro día, que lo estaba jugando en Series X, y eso va solo, ¿eh? Eso va solo. Va súper fluido. Es una pasada. Y luego Gotham Knights sale también el año que viene, pero no se sabe cuándo. Entonces, por eso. God of War, Starfield, no me acuerdo. O sea, me suena el nombre, pero no me acuerdo cuál es. Y Medium, es que Medium sale también. No, me lo retrasaron al final. Iba a salir en diciembre. Bueno, primero iba a salir de salida con la Xbox. Luego lo retrasaron a diciembre y ahora ya luego lo han retrasado al año que viene. Pero tiene una pinta el Medium. ¡Buah! Increíble. La putada es que solamente va a ser para Series X y PC. Así que tendré que pillármelo en PC. Bueno, no. Si sale para Game Pass no me hace falta. Está pagado. Pero vamos, que lo voy a jugar. O sea, he dicho, haré streaming porque es que tiene una pinta brutal. Vale, pues quedan 3 minutillos, ¿no? ¿Eh? ¿Qué me estás contando? Vale. Quedan 2 minutos y medio. Voy a ir poniéndome los cascos y esas cosas. Pero bueno. A ver en qué queda la cosa. Pero ya te digo yo que va a haber mucho... Mucho maletín. Por ahí. ¿Y por qué no se escucha el PC? No me jodas. ¡Ah! ¡Qué putada! Claro, claro. No me jodas. A ver si no tienen puesto sonido, y es por eso. ¡Hombre! ¡Right! Llegas justo a tiempo, a un minuto de empezar. Hemos estado un poco repasando los nominados y tal, a ver lo qué se puede llevar y qué no, pero vamos que... Ah, nada, tranqui, no pasa nada. Tú tienes totalmente permiso de llegar tarde, o sea, no te preocupes. Me está mosqueando lo del sonido. Es que no lo oigo ni yo, por eso me mosquea. Así que nada. ¿Esto a cuánto lo tengo de...? Ah, vale, 1080. Perfecto. Vale, sí, que muy bien, toda esta gente... Toda esta gente son los que votan. Vale. Tiene sonido. Creo que voté, ¿eh? Lo escucháis bien, ¿no? Hombre, la verdad es que el Hades visualmente, ahora que lo estoy viendo, es bonito. Es que Final Fantasy no se puede llevar nada, lo siento, o sea, es un juego inacabado. ¡Onda, coño!
Hello and welcome to our pre-show run-up for the 38th
¡Hombre!
Annual Golden Joystick Awards. I am your warm-up act for today's festivities. My name is Travis Willingham, and you might know me as the voice of Thor in Marvel's Avengers. Some would say I also have the body of Thor, too. No?
¡Qué cachondo!
Oh, it's my house. No one's in here. Over the last few weeks, you have cast millions of votes in support of your favorite games on GamesRadar.com. And now, we are less than 30 minutes away from revealing the winners.
Vale.
Golden Joysticks are held in such special regard because they are voted for by you, the gaming public. And don't worry, we are confident that no bad losers will be taking legal action against our vote counting process. But before we start handing out tiny metal joysticks to the year's best games,
Nos ha metido con
I
los
have a few
ganadores.
extra surprises to share with you, including some exclusive trailers. No, one of them isn't Elden.
¿Trailers exclusivos?
Sorry. You should also be
¡Qué locura, qué locura!
special messages during the show from our friends at Blanco's Block Party. Simply head over to blancos.com/register and enter the code Golden Joysticks for a chance to win a Boss Dino Founders Pack worth over $200 in value.
Este tío es muy bueno, doblando.
To the private
es muy bueno.
Before that, let's pop on our rose-tinted glasses and take a look back over the first half of the year with the first part of our review show, The Year in Games 2020.
Venga, vamos.
How are we going to get 20 minutes of light entertainment out of this year?
We can't even film anything. We've had to do some of it with puppets.
There's only one puppet actually because of a labour dispute.
What sort of labour dispute?
Well, your other end to hold the script.
¿Qué mierda es esto? ¿Por qué hay que poner siempre...
Hello and welcome to the Golden Joysticks review of the year 2020, where we will attempt to wade through Abyss year and find all the games and gaming moments which gave us joy, solace, and a tiny bit of hope in a year that even survivors of the Hindenburg disaster would describe as a bit much. A year which would have been completely irredeemable were it not for video games. Wonderful video games which have kept us sane, kept us entertained, kept us connected, allowed us to pretend we can still travel the Earth or even escape it to worlds beyond. In 2020, video games haven't just been a hobby, they've been a lifeline to countless millions of people. And as a result, the games industry is one of the few to have enjoyed record-breaking profits throughout, which it richly deserves, having almost single-handedly stopped the entire year from being 100% terrible. Thanks to games, it's only been 99%.
Exactamente.
So thank goodness for that 1%.
Not the 1%. We shouldn't thank the 1%. We should seize their assets and use their wealth.
Come on, let's get on with it.
I'm not ready. 2020 sprang
¿Cómo
into
se?
life when
¿Mes a
3
mes?
Walking Dead games got released in January, which in hindsight comes off as some kind of cosmic joke, but in reality just means that there's too many Walking Dead games.
Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, that came out in January. January feels like a lifetime ago. This kind of grinding hellscape of a century that has been 2020.
Better news was around the corner though, as the magnificent Kentucky Route Zero came to an end, closing out 7 years of people seeing it in their Steam library and going, oh yeah, I should play that at some point, right before launching Counter-Strike or whatever it is you do instead of playing one of the best pieces of interactive fiction in 20 years.
Yeah, look, you played Fable 2 just because it had a dog in it. But listen, this has got a dog in it, and it's good.
Also, there was some fuss in the media about a virus or something, but I don't think that ever came to anything.
It's a weirdly difficult year to pick a game of the year, so I'm going to give you a trio. Microsoft Flight Simulator, because it just blew my mind. Final Fantasy VII Remake, because it was better than I could have imagined. And Streets of Rage 4, because brawlers are still awesome.
There's really two ways this
God, who let him in?
The first is I make a thinly veiled argument that because of the Xbox Series X and Microsoft's backwards compatibility initiative, that something like Quantum Break or Driver San Francisco should be in the running. Or...
Qué cabrón, tiene la Series X y la Series S.
Warzone. Let's be honest.
Shut up, West. February saw the loss of a true gaming legend, as Kazuhisa Hashimoto, creator of the Konami Code, sadly
Creo que
passed
te has
away
metido
at the
con
age
Moss.
of 61.
Y
This
eso no sea.
institution was originally created to allow the weak-willed and weak-fingered a chance at getting past the first 5 seconds of Konami's 80s releases, most of which were about walking left to right and battering people. The Konami Code came to be seen as one of the pop cultural go-tos of 1980s gaming. The code has been found on everything from the Netflix
Konami me tiene contenta
as well as being used by Bank of Canada. Bland corporate appropriation aside, the Konami Code is a key fixture of gaming culture and will remain so until the end of time, now scheduled to occur in the third quarter of 2021. In other news, we got to see stylish violence and politeness simulator Yakuza 5 make the jump to PS4, providing yet another extremely satisfying outlet for people who love to shut other people's heads in car doors, but can't stand the idea of rudeness, which essentially makes it the most British game of the year despite being from 2012 and Japanese. Hunt Showdown hit PS4, representing a delightful blend of arachnophobia and body horror that, frankly, none of us needed, and the Magnificent Dreams was sent screaming into the world, bringing with it jaw-dropping user-created
Sí, pero lo que hablábamos antes, que el Dream se ha
much like the
desinflado.
ones we'll be living in after society collapses. Speaking of which, Zombie Army 4 Dead War also hit the streets, capping a stellar few years for Rebellion developments, who've become the world's preeminent purveyors of undead sniping since Prince Philip stopped briefing the press about his children. Later in 2020, they also launched Sniper Elite 4 on Switch, and they literally own 2000 AD, so it seems like every year is a stellar year in Rebellion Town.
Hey, Burns, remember that time you reckoned you were a big shot TV producer?
No.
And you got all dressed up in your Tosser sunglasses and your scarf and that?
That never happened.
And you pitched a Strontium Dog TV show to Rebellion CEO Jason Kingsley, and then he shot you with a crossbow.
He didn't shoot me with a crossbow.
O sea, lo de la marioneta no tiene puta
calls you Stephen.
Igual les parecía una idea súper graciosa y
say it's a longbow. I know what a longbow wound looks like, and yours look like a crossbow wound, so don't give me any of this crap.
Listen, I was menaced with a crossbow and not shot.
Your microphone's rubbish.
March saw the release of Animal Crossing New Horizons on Switch and
Marzo
some
no
other
fue en
games
abril.
that weren't Animal Crossing New Horizons on Switch.
¿Sí? ¿Fue en
Those
abril?
other games
No me
don't
acuerdo.
matter, however,
Ahora
as
lo que
AC
tú sabremos.
went on to devour the free time of everyone who encountered it, which was a remarkable feat in a month when the human race collectively had less to externally occupy them than at any previous point in history.
I mean, I'm 750 hours into my save, and because of 2020, it's become the game that has been my social space. It's been my connection between me and my friends.
Sí, pero que gane
my lifeline
en los que
to
tiene que ganar, lo que
a
hablábamos
little
antes, la
slice
mejor
of normalcy.
comunidad. Mejor juego de Nintendo, bueno, también.
Half-Life Alyx brought a long-awaited update to the legendary
¿Veis?
series.
O sea,
and its
Half-Life
VR
Alyx
exclusivity finally
visualmente
made mainstream gaming
es normalito,
accessible
o sea,
to
no
the
me parece
super
algo
rich.
espectacular
Designed as a killer
como para
app
que
for
se
virtual
oye.
reality, it required thousands of pounds worth of equipment and a decent-sized living room to get the best out of it. barriers to entry that seemed prohibitive to much of Half-Life's audience.
Hear me out here for a second, because earlier this year I had to make this really difficult decision. On the one hand, do I buy a new PC? Do I buy a VR headset? Do I rent an apartment big enough to make use of said VR headset? And do I buy a copy of Half-Life Alyx to use all of this stuff? Or do I try and fill out some of the gaps in my record collection by buying new LPs from Frankie and the Witchfingers, Psychedelic Porn Crumpet, Stonefield, the list goes on. Listen, I'm not saying I made the right decision, I'm just saying that's why I haven't played Half-Life Alyx yet.
Shut up, West.
Why haven't I played Half-Life Alyx? Well, actually I have. But I played it on Oculus Quest with a PC and the link cable, which means I had to buy said link cable. So I ended up with this one that was too short, this one that was the wrong type, and this one which isn't for an Oculus Quest at all. Which is probably the reason that I haven't finished Half-Life Alyx.
I haven't played Half-Life Alyx because I am someone's aunt.
So I did play Half-Life Alyx, and maybe it's because I don't have a normal house.
I haven't played Half-Life Alyx, and it doesn't matter that I haven't because I'm the narrator.
I do want to get to the end though, so that's my goal for 2021.
Yo tampoco
To
he jugado
balance
al
things
Half-Life
out, the
Alyx.
game was given out free with
No me puedo
selected
permitir unas
high-end
Oculus.
VR headsets, which seems a bit redundant, like bundling every 10 grand Rolex with a lifetime membership of the Conservative
Oh, unas
Party.
gafas en
Rockstar
general de...
Games co-founder Dan Houser left the company, making it even less likely that we'll see GTA 6 before World War III, and the ESA officially cancelled E3. That's the Entertainment Software Association, not the European Space Agency, which frankly has no business cancelling a trade show, even one that is full of absolute rockets. Elsewhere, Microsoft unveiled the Xbox Series X, which we were told was very powerful. So powerful, in fact, that MS spent all of its time asking how it could possibly build it, and none of its time asking whether it should look like that.
La neverita.
Now, here's what I will say about all of the systems available.
¿Por qué sacan todo el rato al tío ese? Abrí.
As April unfolded like the dawning realization at the beginning of the zombie movie that things were not going to be okay, Resident Evil 3 launched with a live-action opening in which the people of Raccoon City grapple with the dawning realization that things were not going to be okay, which perhaps didn't so much capture the zeitgeist as tranquilize it before shooting it with a rocket launcher. Nemesis returned, the game wasn't very long, and generally it was accepted to be fine. Everything's fine. Final Fantasy VII Remake launched, and it was also fine. A fitting tribute to one of the most iconic games of all time, boasting amazing visuals and sound, and a stylish update to the setting which provided plenty of surprises, even for those who played it back in the 90s. Not everyone liked these surprises, of course, but you can't please everyone. Or anyone.
When the team behind Final Fantasy VII Remake first started making the game,
Yo de Final Fantasy
you've got to
VII
imagine they were pretty pleased with how relevant the story of the original still feels.
Ya lo visteis cuando lo
25
jugué.
years later,
En
yet
cuanto
the
me llegó.
narrative of trying to topple an evil empire
Pero es
that's
que
held
salió
by an aging blonde businessman somehow still lands.
la semana
And then there's the fact
siguiente
that
del
people of
Resident
this
3.
world are tearing it apart and sending it hurtling towards ecological collapse.
Pero
Who said video games
la putada es eso, que no está entero.
What's magical about Final Fantasy VII Remake is that it captures the way the original game, its world and its characters made you feel back in 1997. But when you put the two games side by side, they don't really have that much in common. And then there's the fact that this is a game that is brave enough to make changes to that original story.
Joder, changes.
Fairly
Hola,
severe.
¿qué tal?
Naturally, these changes
Hola, ¿qué tal?
aren't for everyone. But listen, here's the great thing. If you hate the way that these changes went and you hate what they might mean for future chapters of the remake, that's fine, because the original Final Fantasy VII is still there, it's still a masterpiece, and it's playable on practically every current
Es lo que yo digo con los remakes también de Resident Evil. Están ahí los de
April also saw the
PlayStation.
launch of
Puedes
the
jugar
Games
cuando
for
quieras.
Carers initiative, with publishers such as Microsoft, EA, Sega, and many
Los
more
remakes son
teaming up with
diferentes.
Trade Buddy Yuki to distribute
Casi, casi
85,000 free games to
juegos
NHS
nuevos.
staff.
Vale. Hostia, es verdad.
In May, the abhorrent killing of George Floyd in Minnesota sparked worldwide protests against police brutality and systemic racism.
Recordad que nos
Publishers such
confinaron
as
en marzo.
EA, 2K, Riot, and
Llevamos
Ubisoft
2 meses
donated
ya
millions
confinados
of dollars to
en
Black
esta
Lives
época.
Matter charities, and
¿Quién nos lo iba
itch.io
a
raised
decir?
over 8 million with its bundle for racial justice and equality. But this is the
Pero
start
bueno, por lo
of the
menos yo en
journey,
mayo
not the destination. And in the longer term, the industry must keep its promise on diversity and inclusivity and strive to be a voice of change. The Last of Us Part 2 made its triumphant debut in June, releasing to critical and commercial acclaim, while also attracting the ire of certain people on the internet who became overly concerned that their tale of marauding zombies in a post-apocalyptic world caused by mental mushrooms had somehow become less plausible because a woman lifts weights in it. Nevertheless, the game will surely sweep through the award shows this year like COVID-19 in a White House press briefing.
My game of the year is probably going to be The Last of Us 2, not because it was necessarily the absolute best game of the year, but because of the discussion and the talk around what it tried to do, the way it tried to sort of elicit feelings from the player.
La verdad es que el mensaje que quiere dar de las
think about games and what they can do.
I think everyone is going to have covered The Last of Us, Animal Crossing, all the big hits like that. So I'm going to talk to you about some of the smaller titles that have really impacted me this year. Things like Love, a puzzle box filled with stories. That one actually got me a little bit emotional. Things like Gibbous on the Switch has been taking up a lot of my time recently, which is a point-and-click style adventure set in a Cthulhu universe with a talking cat. So that one's definitely worth checking out.
My game of the year so far has been If Found. It's a really small kind of game and it tells the story of this transgender woman that's had a falling out with her family and has to move out. And it's kind of about the friends she relies upon on the way to like recovery. The story is more focused on not necessarily like tragedy as such, but more like how you overcome a tragedy and how you pick yourself back up after.
There is of course no right or wrong to what is the game of the year. It's whatever you think you've enjoyed the most. It could be something really small and bite-sized.
Pero es que el que yo he...
like The Last of Us 2. The key thing is there are no wrong opinions.
El que yo he disfrutado más no está. No está. Y Resident Evil 3 Remake.
Nice job. June also welcomed another installment in a much-loved video game series, with the Command & Conquer Remaster moving out onto Windows and generally making everyone who played it feel good and nice, which was some achievement given that outside in the real world it felt like 5 seconds to midnight. A true labour of love, the remaster is well worth picking up if you, like me, still know the cheat code for the original by heart. Cover tops. Cover tops. Is that a typo?
No, it's cover tops.
Cover tops. You mean covert ops?
No.
It's obviously covert ops. It is patently covert ops.
What does covert ops have to do with a game about infiltrating?
It's not covert ops. It doesn't make any sense for it to say covert ops.
You know, I've had enough of this already.
It's more likely to be tank tops, because that's more militaristic, you know.
Finally, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer was re-released for Switch in June, reminding us of a simpler time
¿Cómo que no se merece mención? Le han mencionado ahí, al principio de abril.
Lego, instead of becoming the focus of endless YouTube essays by the kinds of grifters and mental incompetents that we used to just ignore in Hyde Park.
Midi-chlorians, you're having a laugh. He's making it up as he goes along. Darth Vader built C-3PO, did he? You think he'd have bloody mentioned it? Jar Jar Binks, what a load of old guff. Anyway, she's filed the divorce now.
¿Cómo que no? Si estaba ahí, lo han mencionado. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Que no estás viendo el mismo vídeo que yo?
So many happy memories. And to think, we did most of that while cosplaying as Bane. Yes. What a wild ride. And speaking of wild rides, it is time for our first exclusive trailer of the evening. Time to take to the high seas.
A ver. ¿Qué nos es? Siguiente. Qué cabrón eres. Es un Command & Conquer de piratas, ¿no? De barco pirata. Vale.
We are now getting very close to the awards, but just a second. Yeah, I'm hearing that there may need to be a recount for best game expansion. Things were that close in the voting this year. It's real earpiece. In order to buy more time, let's continue our trip down memory lane, carefully stepping over all the bodies of our digital enemies. It's part 2 of the Year in Games 2020.
Before we dive back into making jokes at everyone else's expense, it's time to talk about even more essential change across the games industry. June saw the New York Times reporting on widespread sexism and harassment across the industry, and since then we have seen dozens of similar incidents reported. But it shouldn't have taken the New York Times shining a spotlight to start these conversations. Gaming's Me Too movement demands listening, believing, and immediate change. Women do sell games, they also make them, market them, purchase and play them. Even if you don't show them in trailers, try to fob them off with gift cards for harassment and then have to take a flamethrower to your upper management when the truth eventually comes out about your sexist behaviour. Thankfully, the beginnings of a change have finally arrived and there are glimmers of hope. We've got a long way to go before we can consider our industry to be truly inclusive.
O sea, ¿me pones a Claire Redfield y no a Jill Valentine? Estoy por marcharme, me estoy poniendo una mala hostia.
July was a good month for fans of Assassin's Creed, PlayStation exclusives, and repetitive tasks, as the hauntingly beautiful samurai simulator Ghost of Tsushima finally made its debut on PS4. ¡Qué perra! ¿Cómo me traiciona? Long-standing PC benchmarking favorite Crysis, finally answering the age-old question, can it run Crysis with, yeah, but why would you want it to? Why don't you just port 3D Marco 6 while you're at it? Faring better was Carrion, a game not about small luggage, but about being a big sentient blob of genetically modified violence, occupied primarily with eating scientists, which,
la idea de este juego es chulo, que tú seas el monstruo y te cargues a...
Speaking of gigantic room-devouring things, Sony finally showed off the PS5 hardware, sparking a wave of spoofs, memes, and general internet do-battery that probably wasn't in the marketing plan.
Sí, no, pero en julio también dijeron algo muy
importante. When it's safely tucked under your TV and you never think about it again. Until you move house and have to get it by the fire brigade.
So it's just really nice to see like people be
ese directo fue épico.
Both consoles having a really strong proposition. It feels like they've each found their kind of approach or niche in the last generation, and they're both really doubling down on that for this generation.
When you see how quick Spider-Man loads on PS5, or when you use quick
Yo siempre seré
on the Xbox, it wows you, and it's actually the first time in a long time I'm looking at new consoles and going, wow, these are actually doing something a little bit better than a good PC does it right now. And we haven't been able to say that about new consoles for quite some time.
I love Xbox Game Pass, it's amazing. I love PlayStation 5's haptic feedback on the DualSense. Astro's Playroom made me so happy that I don't even really know what to do. I was just sitting alone on the sofa just screaming.
Actually be able to feel different textures in your game through the pads feels like a revolution and actually brings a connection between you and the games that I've never really experienced before.
And the way you can feel every day.
Claro, por eso. Solo caben 4 en cada camión, ya sabes.
That's incredible. I'm really excited for what developers can do with that.
I love buying and playing video games. My bank account does not.
Fall Guys became one of the most popular video games in the world in August by harnessing and exemplifying the simple and fundamental truth at the core of the human condition. That watching people fall over is funny. Part Takeshi's Castle, part Bouncy Castle, Fall Guys has received almost universal acclaim for being a breath of fresh air. A popular multiplayer game that isn't predicated on violence. Except it is predicated on violence.
Que no está acabado, eso no se lleva nada. Lo van a hacer como con los Oscars en el retorno del rey. Con el capítulo 3 se llevará todo lo que no se lleva.
Also dominated by the news that Apple, Google and Epic were gearing up for a financial Royal Rumble. Here's actual wrestler Simon Miller to explain what's going down.
Como Javi, desde aquí, te mando un beso, Javi. Lo explicaba súper bien en el podcast de Juegos con J. Toda la movida esta entre Epic, Apple y todo eso. Está súper bien. A mí me quedó súper claro, porque no me he enterado de nada. También a la trajota duele, le vamos a dar un saludo. A Juanra. ¿Y este calvo quién es?
As WWF, then we could go and get Hulk Hogan and we can make him like the jewel in our crown. Hulk Hogan loved that because he wanted his ego to be rubbed and he got really excited. So Ric Flair.
But what's any of that got to do with Fortnite?
I thought we were here to talk about Ric Flair.
No.
Not really.
The dispute resulted in some astonishingly childish behaviour, most of which we found funny, but it reminded us that in ideological battles between billion-dollar firms quibbling over small print, there are no winners. It's like Alien vs Predator. There's tons of money involved, and it's absolutely awful. Much needed escapism was provided by the frankly incredible Microsoft Flight Simulator, which used Microsoft's not at all Orwellian sounding cloud infrastructure to map out most of the world. Or at least the bits people cared about.
A ver, qué bonito es, está bien hecho y tal.
2020 would be the year that Flight Simulator came back. I mean, I'm a Flight Simulator 95 girl all the way through. Corona hasn't let me travel this year, but I think I've flown more
tampoco lo veo así
than
tan
would have
wow,
normally
como
just
todo el mundo está
from
diciendo.
this very seat. So, thank you, Flight Simulator, for scratching my travel itch, despite the fact I couldn't actually go anywhere.
September saw some good news at last, if only for a short moment, as Tony Hawk's Pro
Sí,
Skater
todavía me acuerdo
1
el día que lo
arrived,
anunciaron, fue
knowing people who know
uno de los
there's
más.
no such game as Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1. It did, however,
En plan,
whisk us back
guau,
to the
el
late
Summer
90s,
Game
a nicer
Fest, que
time,
vamos a
a
anunciar un montón de
better
cosas,
time,
como
before coronavirus,
una tarde a las 6 de la
before
tarde
you
vamos a
started
presentar
going
esto.
grey, before you became indentured to a bank for 30 years just to buy a two-bedroom flat
fue
that's
muy
nowhere near as nice as your childhood home but somehow costs 20 times as much. The long-awaited sequel to Spelunky made its bow, delighting dentists everywhere with its signature mix of one-more-go appeal and teeth-gnashing difficulty. Like the original, it was incredibly popular with masochists, putting it right up there with self-flagellation, visiting a dominatrix, and owning a Twitter account. Speaking of heydays, Hades became a genuine sleeper hit, which the Games Press didn't seem to know anything about before launch, presumably because they were all on the internet arguing about whether or not quinoa is problematic. Despite this, Hades has become a smash hit with critics, and who knows, might even win some awards tonight.
It's something that everyone should try, even if you're not normally into roguelikes. They've folded in this incredible narrative structure that is just really compelling and makes you want to keep playing. And you've got all of these distant relatives, these gods who are helping you. They'll comment on literally everything you're doing, like what weapon you're using, or who you died to on the last run. And yeah, they sort of like support you and cheerlead you as you're working your way out of hell.
In other news, Microsoft left the job of announcing its smaller, cheaper Xbox, the Series S, to the good people of the internet. The month was dominated by pre-orders for the PS5 and Xbox family of consoles, and how those launches went really smoothly and nothing went wrong at all. Apart from all the crying children, PR apologies, petty sniping, and all the rest of the things we've come to love about gaming.
How am I supposed to run a reasonable scalping operation when Currys and that can't get their act together?
Ahora, aquí le están tocando las cosquillas ahora, ¿eh?
And I had more tabs on the go than the Marlboro man.
Octubre ya.
In October, Star Wars Squadron screamed interview with a decent story, tight dogfighting, and seriously impressive cockpit detail. It reminded us all of why we loved the X-Wing and TIE Fighter games back in the day, and served as a worthy reimagining of them.
Se nota cuando se empieza a marear porque se calla. Totalmente. Y es como, bueno, lo voy a dejar, tal, no sé qué, y yo como, desmareado,
It's Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Because that's why you've cut to me to talk about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is absolutely my game of the year because I've spent 90 hours playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla in the last 2 weeks. And I don't think it's a Stockholm thing, do double check, but I do love it.
Yo solo llevo 10.
England, which normally I really don't appreciate, so if a game can make me enjoy England, points for that. But I just love it. It's got this great blend of old assassins and new assassins, so you can go out with your hidden blade, none of this broken spear nonsense. You still have all your superpowers. I love the fact that you've got all these really interesting little mysteries to do, and you can still air assassinate people, which is wonderful. Build your settlement. And the drinking horn is kind of okay. Who knew? I love the fact that you can ride a wolf across.
Sí,
Norway,
ya sé que se puede, ya me lo enseñaron, que se puede cabalgar el lobo.
But it's like catnip for actual lore fans. While most people really hate all that modern day stuff, me and about 6 other people, we actually really enjoy it. So it actually ticked that box too. But yes, settlement, hidden blades, air assassinations, beautiful world. 90 hours in, what could go wrong? Because I can't put the thing down until...
Pues nada, el fin de semana Assassin's Creed con Romeo. A tomar por...
to decide between accelerated decline or decline, another pair of grand old rivals was gearing up for the showdown of the decade as Sony and Microsoft released the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series S and X to a ravenous public. Both machines arrived armed with a slew of new and exciting features, the Xbox pushing Game Pass, high frame rates and backwards compatibility, and the PS5 being so big it can double as a caravan if necessary. Sorry, catamaran. Yes, next gen is here, and it's bringing gamers around the world to a very solid state indeed.
No te llega a ir porque viene por barco.
For a third time, perhaps we can take a few moments to look fondly back at the generation that was.
¡Uy, mira, ponte salir!
The thing that really defined last gen for me was PlayStation really sticking to its adage of for the players. Sony has created exclusive experiences, these huge stories that will go on to define PlayStation legacy.
Doom Eternal. I mean, I'm not going to pretend otherwise. It's kind of exactly the same as the Doom they released a few years before that. If it ain't broke, you don't fix it.
Who cares which £500 box of conflict minerals you play your 7 out of 10 nonsense on when the only game in town is Resistance, comrades?
Binding of Isaac, that came out, what, 6 years ago, and I've still played hundreds of hours of that, so that's probably one of my last gen highlights.
Nationalised PlayStation!
For me, it's been amazing to see the smaller, more interesting games get spotlighted. I think Microsoft with Game Pass and just sort of Sony in general have done a really great job of even more so holding up these smaller games as
que sí, que le quitas la turbina de dentro y puedes vivir ahí.
We've seen a lot of sort of smaller companies making slightly smaller games, you know, maybe only last 10, 12 hours, but they're still good, they're still valid.
Seize the means of procrastination!
Some really cool games that have sort of come into their own.
¡Qué hijo de puta! Tiene una taza del Raccoon City por este parme.
Ring Fit Adventure, where lots of people suddenly discovered this excellent fitness
game
last year that many had passed over on because they were stuck inside their houses.
I'm a red fox, that's the joke.
Sí, algo así.
Shut up, West. And as always, remember, you voted for the games you're about to complain about winning.
La casa queda guay todo. Bueno, venga, parece que ya empieza la cosa.
Again, it's simply amazing what the games industry has achieved. Especially given that all that was done while working at home in our underwear. Imagine what we could accomplish with actual clothes. Never fight the good fight. Anyway, one game that has made it through quarantine is our next exclusive trailer. So,
siguen trabajando desde sus casas.
Enjoy.
Ya te digo, tío. Yo también quiero esa taza, joder. Me tiene que conformar con la de Welcome to Raccoon City. Aunque yo prefiero la de los stars. ¿Qué coño es esto? Estoy viendo demasiado gore en píxeles. Olilla. Vale. Uy, devolver.
All right. Now, wait a moment. Yes, I'm being told over my imaginary earpiece that everything is locked in and the winner's decided. So, that's it from me. For now, don't worry, I'll be back. It is time to crown 2020's best games. Yes, the 38th Annual Golden Joystick Awards, hosted by the lovely and talented Laura Bailey. Are about to begin.
Mujer.
So to open the show, please welcome Lara6683, who's performing a medley of tracks inspired by this year's nominees. Let's play a game. How many can you recognize?
Y también es Laura Bailey, que no es esta chica, por cierto. Tiene una... Ya me caes bien, tía. Tiene ahí lo de Sena Warrior Princess. Ya está. Pokémon. De hecho, aquí en España tenemos a Leneski, creo que se llama. Que hace lo mismo que esta chica. Eso es de las tofas. Sí. Esas notas son inconfundibles. Bad Guys. ¿Qué coño es esto? Ah, el Hades. Eres un crack. Ponme la Nemesis, tía. No sé si lo veis, pero lleva un peto de David el gnomo. Vale, Animal Crossing. Oh. Me estoy emocionando con escuchar la de Final Fantasy VII. Me toca mucho el cocoro eso. Qué desgracia. No. Te ha faltado Resident Evil, tía, pero bueno. Esta es Laura Bailey. Es la mujer del tío de antes. O sea, estaremos viendo otra parte de su casa. Eso es. A esta señora ha sido la que le han amenazado de muerte por haber hecho de Abby. De hecho, también es Vida Negra en Marvel's Avengers. Y lleva años currando en el mundillo y es de las mejores.
But tonight's awards celebrate video games and the people who make them. And more importantly,
porque, por lo que tú ya sabes qué ha pasado en The Last of Us 2. No te lo voy a decir, si se lo digo hago spoiler.
Featuring 20 categories, we'll acknowledge the skills that bring games to life and hand over some tiny golden joysticks to the titles you voted as best of the year. Of course, every good award show needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. So let's start ours with Best Storytelling. Please welcome the star of Assassin's Creed Origins, Abu Bakr Salim, to present the award.
Hello, I'm Abu Bakr Salim. You may know me as the voice of Bayek from Assassin's Creed Origins, or that crazy guy who decided to open his own studio in the middle of a pandemic called Silver Rain Games. Now, I am thrilled to be here to be presenting the award for Best Storytelling. You know, where would games be without storytellers? You know, stories have the power to draw us in and raise the stakes.
Que sí, que la narrativa en un videojuego y en todo en general es lo mejor. Sí, vale. Vamos a ver. La mejor.
Apocalyptic viral outbreak, and another took us to hell. Anyway, now let's take a look at this year's nominees.
Venga.
Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition. Necro Barista. The Last of Us Part 2. Hades. Paradise Killer.
Vale.
Ghost of Tsushima. Signs of the Social. If Found.
Vale, a ver.
And the winner is The Last of Us Part 2.
Well, this is a pretty nice evening.
¿Te ha cortado el pelo?
And with that, I'd like to thank my writing partner in this game, Hallie Gross. Gave up several years of her life to tell the story.
Debería. A ver si le va pero bueno. Ya veremos cuando lo juegues si es verdad que tiene esa narrativa tan buena. A ver, el primero lo tiene. Pero no sé. Igual ha sido todo lo que ha surgido alrededor del juego, así, no sé. Se me hace raro este tío no verle sin el pelo largo y sin el moñito que se hacía, en plan a los hipster.
It was controversial for some. We're still quite blown away with how many people resonated with The Last of Us Part 2. So, thank you to the Joystick Awards and thank you for everything.
Todo lo tuyo, tranquilo.
We appreciate it. Take care.
Congrats to the team at Naughty Dog. Next up, it's literally the most competitive category of the night.
Vale, aquí, si no se lo lleva Fall Guys,
to present the prize, it's game director of Apex
corto
Legends,
el directo, de verdad,
Chad
corto.
Grenier.
Porque no
hey there, I'm Chad Grenier, game director on Apex Legends. I don't know how I would have gotten through lockdown without gaming with my friends, so it's great to be here presenting the Golden Joystick for Best Multiplayer Game, an award that the Apex team and myself were fortunate enough to win last year. Winning this award is a stamp of recognition for all of the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears that goes into making a game. And since the game has to be released this year to win, I'm happy to be handing it over to another team that will surely treasure it. Let's take a look at the nominees lining up on this year's starting line.
A ver.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Es que no tiene sentido, pero bueno. Sí, puedes jugar en multiplayer, pero...
The Dark Pictures Anthology.
Joder. Qué final, qué juegazo.
Deep Rock Galactic.
Pero, no sé, no lo veo yo un multiplayer per se.
Valorant. Fall Guys.
Se lo tiene que llevar. Si no, es que dimito de la vida, de verdad.
Moving Out.
Si es un puto Animal Crossing eso.
Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Que se la acabará de Animal Crossing porque Nintendo les ha comprado. Among Us. Sí, Among Us.
Call of Duty Warzone.
A ver.
And the winner is Fall Guys.
Bien.
Hey, it's Joe from Mediatonic. It's really awesome to win Best Multiplayer Game at the Golden Joystick Awards. I just want to give a big thanks to Devolver, who have allowed us to make a game we had absolutely no idea how to make, but also to the millions of fans that we've subjected to the slime this far. We felt it's about time that we settled the scores.
Oops.
Cheers.
Now, if you're impressed by our virtual stage, just wait until you see the games in our next category. Here to announce Best Visual Design, please welcome Devil May Cry 5 producer Matt Walker and director Hideaki Itsuno.
Mato-san!
Hello everyone, I'm Matt Walker.
Hi, Itsuno Hideaki です。
Con la Nendroid, tío, de Dante, qué bonita.
作りましたデビルメイクライ5がベストビジュアルデザイン賞を受賞させていただきました。大変嬉しく思っております。ありがとうございます。ビジュアルデザインっていうのはですね、ゲームの
Hombre, es que visualmente May Cry 5 es brutal. Merecidísimo el año pasado.
力を入れて作ったものですので。
Ahí ganó Resident Evil 2 Remake. ¿Qué consta?
さて、今年の候補作たちは去年にも負けず劣らず素晴らしいものばかりです。さて、どのタイトルが受賞することになったのでしょうか。
Well, they take us from 13th century Japan to the rivers of the afterlife, to your very own childhood home, but from 20,000 feet in the air. Let's take a look at the nominees for Best Visual Design.
Ori, por favor, Ori.
The Last of Us Part 2.
Que sí, que es bonito y tal, pero...
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima es que también visualmente es precioso. Pero...
Hades.
Y yo creo que Hades es chulo, son las cinemáticas. Porque lo otro no me motiva tanto.
Flight Simulator.
Y esto como que no. Es que no lo compro.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Está incompleto, siguiente.
Spiritfarer.
Bueno. No es Ori.
Ori and the Will of the
Es que esto es precioso. Es que esto es precioso.
Half-Life Alyx.
The winner is...
The Last of Us.
¡Venga! ¿Se le va a llevar todas las tofas o qué?
On behalf of the Naughty Dog team, I'd like to thank all the gamers who voted for us. It's always an honor to be nominated alongside our fellow developers, and everyone did exceptionally well this year. This visual design really means a lot to the team, so thank you for picking us.
Ni siquiera por el culo de Jin.
Thank you, Golden Joystick Award, for hosting this event and for just making it happen this year. And lastly, I'd like to congratulate my Naughty Dog team for a job well done and for all the hard work, and also for all the support from their families. So thank you, congratulations, and have a good evening.
Next up, we have a special video from our friends at the ESA Foundation, who provide scholarships and support to people of all ages, race, and gender who are breaking into the video games industry.
When I was being bullied, video games were my escape. Growing up, being transgender and having Tourette's has made inclusivity very important to me. I'm a video games designer. I want to make games that everyone can play. I decided to make a dance game because I wanted to share what I loved with the rest of the world. And I know dancing is really inaccessible to so many people, so I want to try to bring it to more people. I first started dancing when I was 5 years old. My mom bought me this little tutu and I called it my ballet suit and I wore it all over the house.
Tenía la ligera sensación.
My
Pero
Tourette syndrome
no tengo nada
didn't kick in until like I was about 12 years old. I had a lot of vocal tics where I would just say, how, repeatedly. I ended up being bullied a lot. Dancing helped with my Tourette's. I first became aware that I was trans probably around 15 years old. I didn't come out until I was 18. It was something that I kept in the closet for a long time because I felt ashamed. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is my favorite game all time. I love the open world aspect of the game. A lot of people always refer to Link as Zelda when that's wrong. For me, that reminds me of when people would call me by my old name. Breath of the Wild came out in 2017. I came out October of 2017. Oh.
¿Se puede escuchar?
Messed up. I'm studying video game design at NYU. I was awarded a scholarship from the ESA Foundation. My freshman year of college, I created a very personal piece. It's essentially how I came out as transgender to my friends and family. I want to give people actual trans representation in video games so people can feel what I felt when I could relate to Link, but I want that representation to be genuine.
¿Tú crees?
My new game is called Spotlight, and it is an adaptable VR dancing experience for people who may not get to perform ballet on a stage. One important feature of my game Spotlight is going to be how it's customizable for people with different disabilities. You have rhythmic cues floating around you in VR,
Pero no
and you
estaba
match
nominado.
them with your head and your arms. Yep. 1, 2, 3, in my face. Eventually, the targets will appear in rhythm to the music. For the initial prototype, it will be to the Sugar Plum Fairy in the Nutcracker. I would love to be part of a group of developers that starts a grassroots movement to create more accessibility features in games. I think we need more of them in the AAA games industry.
Oye, pues no es mala idea lo que dices, de que les den por compensación todos estos y que luego el mejor juego del año sea eso sí.
Let's check in with Travis for more prizes.
Te lo puedo llegar a comprar, ¿eh?
Of course, I'd much rather be sharing a stage with you in person, but at least I get a shiny stage of my own. Well, I'm assuming it's shiny.
Lo veis lo que les digo.
Literally put me anywhere. Please don't let it
Es que a mí me gusta ser marido y mujer y tengo una hija, como...
As Laura said, I am here to announce
Pequeñita.
the winners of a few more awards. So let's start with the best game expansion. The nominees are Total War, Warhammer 2, The Warden and the Paunch, Mortal Kombat 11, Aftermath,
Control, ¿vale?
Worlds,
Control,
Peril
por
and
favor.
Gorgon,
Incluso Mortal Kombat,
Pokemon
pero
Sword and Shield
Control.
Expansion Pass, Control, AWE, The Sims 4, Star Wars, Journey to Batuu, No Man's Sky, Origins, Final Fantasy XIV Patch 5.3, Reflections in Crystal. And the winner is... No Man's Sky Origins.
Joder.
Wow.
No,
Thank you so
no,
much.
ni siquiera, no más Sky.
You know, we're really lucky that every day we get to
Esto
come to
es,
work
aquí hay
make games.
más billetes por debajo de la mesa,
Privilege for us.
aún en
No Man's
pandemia,
Sky.
¿eh? O sea, o yo qué sé, yo creo que aquí hay
They've been
transferencias más rollo
enjoyed
por Bitcoin y tal, ¿eh?
Really lucky.
Porque si no, vamos, me lo explico yo.
But it's not always easy.
No, gazo.
And you know, No Man's Sky has not always been easy. It's been a roller
Me encanta
coaster.
ese en plan de, os pongo de fondo la
Moments
Xbox
like
Series
these,
X.
they mean a lot to the team. You know, 4 years on from launch, winning best expansion. Yeah, it's a surprise and it's great.
Con lo que se le ha ocurrido Remedy para precisamente tuviera continuidad con todo el universo y que van a hacer un
the least mobile years in gaming, but hey, here's Mobile Game of the Year, and the nominees are
ninguno porque no están
Next
mongas.
Stop Nowhere, Bird Alone, If Found, A Monster's Expedition, Little Orpheus, Lego Builder's Journey, Game of Thrones, Tale of Crows. And the winner is Lego Builder's Journey.
He dicho antes que seguramente Lego. O sea que...
Hi guys, on behalf of the Lightbrick team, both here on site in Copenhagen and online working from home, we'd like to shout out a big thanks for this award. We are deeply grateful and hugely humbled by this. Thanks to everyone who voted for us, and thanks to Games Radar and Future for setting all this up. It really means a lot to us. We can't wait to show you what we're up to next. So from all of us to all of you, big thanks. Bye-bye.
This next award is Music to My Ears. I mean, it's literally the award for Best Audio, so. And the nominees are Half-Life Alyx, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order,
Por favor,
Paradise Killer,
aunque sea solo ese,
The Last of Us Part 2,
solo ese.
Resident Evil 3, Streets of Rage 4, Call of Duty Warzone, Ghost of Tsushima. And the winner is The Last of Us Part 2.
Venga, tío, hasta luego. Por favor, o sea...
Wow, this is really an incredible night for us. On behalf of Rob Krekel,
mala
our
hostia me
audio
estoy cogiendo.
director,
The entire
dialogue and sound design teams and our external partners and collaborators with whom we work so closely. I just want to say
ya sabemos que cuando lleguen los Game Awards el mes que viene
the Golden Joystick Awards,
va a
for
ser
38
igual,
years now you have been
ningún tipo de...
recognizing and honoring the hard work of game developers, and so it's an incredible honor to
la prensa,
in this category.
Esto, por mucho que digan, no, votáis vosotros.
Most importantly, to our fans. This has been an amazing year for video games in every genre and in the medium as a whole.
La prensa está compradísima.
So, to be put in a list
que me da igual, que se lo podía haber llevado Resident Evil. Yo pedía Resident Evil, no pedía Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil, para algo que le nominan, coño, que es bueno. Que es bueno.
We can't do what we do without the support of the entire studio, from the executive team all the way down to QA. And so I want to thank them for their hard work and their diligence and their passion to bring this story to life. It allowed us to do our best work. And so, once again, thank you and have a great evening.
Hey, Laura! Sounds like all that grunting paid off. Isn't that great? Yeah? Anyways, congrats to our winners, and I will be back with even more awards soon. But before we head back to the main stage, let's take a look at some of the most exciting games of 2021 and beyond. And who knows, maybe these will be competing for a golden joystick next year.
Ojo, no digo que lo del control y así también tenga su aquel, sí, es decir, quieren conseguir
a ver
total, está de puta madre, pero de verdad estos han luchado con garras y dientes y igual con billetes también. Yo creo por lo que les ha pasado.
Vale, venga, te lo compro. Far Cry, sí, la verdad es que... ...2021 sí, porque la habéis puesto ahora, pero no se sabía. Es 20 de enero, sabía que sería primero. Es que Hogwarts Legacy, tío, es que va. No. Vale. ¿Y por qué este y no el del Escuadrón Suicida? Pregunto. No nos habíamos planteado eso, ¿no? Hostia, no te Hunter Rise. La verdad es que sí. Ni Halo Infinite. Pobre Halo. Qué mal han tratado, de verdad. No se lo merece. A ver. No estaba Medium ahí,
We crown your ultimate game of the year, a musical performance by Harry Mack. And don't forget to head to blancos.com/register and enter the code Golden Joysticks for a chance to win a Founders pack worth over $200 in value and gain immediate access to the private beta. But up next is the best indie game. Introducing this award are last year's winners from Mobius Games, creators of Outer Wilds, Alex Beecham and Logan Verhoef.
Hi, I'm Alex Beecham.
¿A qué me ponen el vídeo ese?
Last year, Mobius Digital had the honor of winning this award with Outer Wilds, and now we are thrilled to pass the joystick to one of this year's nominees.
All the games on this year's list do an amazing job, not just at design and storytelling, but at expanding and diversifying what games are about, who they're made by, and what games can be.
The Golden Joystick can only go to a single game. But it goes without
Tío,
saying
¿no sabes
that each of these
que el
games
peinado de
equally
Justin
deserving of
Bieber hace
recognition.
varios
Value
años
judgments
que
like
dejó de
these
estar
are
de
always
moda?
subjective, and time is probably an illusion.
So, without further ado,
Te lo comento,
let's take a look at this
por si no
year's
te habías dado cuenta.
nominees.
Spelunky 2.
Vale. macho, es que es muy fuerte.
Factorio.
El otro simplemente ha salido sin peinar, pero es que este es como, wow.
Hades.
Se le llevará Hades. Hades.
Lair of the Clockwork God.
Kentucky Route Zero.
Paradise Killer.
Necrobarista.
Vale.
Freaks.
La verdad es que... Botas.
And the winner is...
Sí.
Hey, on behalf of all of us at Supergiant Games, we wanted to say thank you so much.
No se le iba a llevar a los grandes, pero se le iba a llevar
It really means a lot, as
indie,
we've been working
obviamente.
together as a small independent studio now for more than 10 years, starting with our first game Bastion, then on to Transistor, and then Pyre, and now most recently Hades, where we sought to combine the best aspects of our previous games in a whole new way. We like doing things a little bit differently every single time, and one of the big and somewhat scary new changes for us on Hades was to develop a game in early access. That meant we'd be collaborating with our community, getting feedback on everything from the balance to the technical
Os nominamos. Entre los grandes no vais a poder porque se va a llevar todo puto a las topas 2, pero el mejor indie os lo damos. Correcto. Al igual que se va a llevar Tsushima, el mejor juego.
You inspired us to really realize so much of the potential of this concept, and you kept us motivated and focused on the most important things about this game all the way through, including through what's been a rather interesting and a rather tough year. So we share this award with you, and we're really, really grateful for your support, and thanks to everyone for playing.
Our next prize is the Still Playing Award. So here's hoping you managed to tear yourself away long enough to vote. Here are the nominees.
Vale.
Player Unknown's Battlegrounds.
Todavía sigue jugando gente al PUG, es que no lo entiendo.
Pokémon Go.
Pokémon Go. Hola, Andrés. Se le va a llevar Pokémon, ya, obviamente.
Grand Theft Auto Online.
He tenido su época durante el confinamiento, pero no creo que...
Sea of Thieves. Final Fantasy XIV.
No sé.
Fortnite.
Mira, como se le de Fortnite, es que ha habido puntada, ¿eh? Es que te lo juro.
Apex Legends. Minecraft.
Hombre, si le lleva Minecraft, GTA Online no. GTA Online no. Pokémon Go.
And the winner is Minecraft.
Venga.
I know I speak for everyone at Mojang Studios when I say thank you to everyone who is still playing Minecraft and building with us. We are
Eso se
so
le llama
honored
untar la
to have
tostada.
been considered next to some standout.
Y se han untado en todo el
We
morrayo.
are grateful for the entire Minecraft community that has built Minecraft alongside us for the last 11
¿Por qué?
years.
Porque Minecraft
Huge
está
thanks
muerto
for this
también.
award, and I hope you're all staying safe.
A worthy winner. And now it's time for our first trailer of the award show.
Venga.
And things are getting creepy.
¿Creepy? ¿Cómo que creepy? Ah, vale. Digo, ¿me va a poner a meter uno de Village? No, no toca.
I should have known better than to listen to you. I let him into my home. What? No. He wouldn't. He couldn't have. Shut up. You better do it fast. Kill him.
Digo, ¿es Medium? ¿No es Medium? ¿Qué coño es? Sí. Joder.
Our next winner is going to be difficult to fit in a single Zoom call window, though. It's Best Studio. To announce the winners, please welcome F1
aquí veremos quién se lleva también un premio de consolación. O Naughty Dog, o Sucker
I'm
Punch.
excited to present the award for Best Studio. Behind every great game is a great studio. And this award celebrates the people who make games happen. From the artists and animators who create the avatars which we control, to the programmers and designers
yo lo que hablaba antes de lo de Mediatonic me parecía bien, pues conseguido algo en muy poco tiempo. Pero sí que es verdad que lo que decía Mikel de Sucker Punch también.
I salute them.
Yo voto por esos todos.
And the nominees are
Naughty Dog.
Mediatonic, Media Molecule,
Vale.
Paradox Development Studio, Naughty Dog, Respawn.
Pero yo Respawn no se lo llevaría por Apex, no. Por Star Wars y por el norte.
Infinity Ward.
Bueno, estos son todos los Call of Duty.
Supergiant Games. Sucker Punch.
Sí. Sucker Punch es muy merecido. A ver qué pasa.
And the winner is Naughty Dog.
En serio, de verdad, nada, ¿eh? No les deis nada.
This is a nice evening. Thanks again to Joystick Awards and for all the fans that voted for us. It was already an honor just to be alongside fellow devs that we look up to and admire. So to win this thing is still surreal. Games are
pues ya ves, mejor juego.
It takes an army to put a game like The Last of Us together.
Mejor juego, o sea, mejor estudio se le hemos metido.
And it's been an absolute honor to watch each team and each member of those teams.
¿Por qué en vez de hacer la pantomima no decimos que se lo lleven todo y nos vamos a casa?
And that's what drives us. That's what inspires us. We inspire each other to do the kind of work.
No, o sea, es que no tiene esto
And I also want to thank
sentido, de verdad. O sea, me parece.
And I specifically want to call out Sam Thompson, Scott Rohde, Connie Booth, Sean Layden, Jim Ryan. Your support over the years for.
A ver, es una buena compañía. Pero yo creo que le están recompensando por todos los palos que le han caído por lo que le han caído. Por la mala, por el. Es lo que hablábamos. Mediatonic con Fall Guys, más merecido. Sucker Punch con Ghost of Tsushima, muy merecido también. Lo tengo que llevar todo.
I'm gonna have to go and break that up. While I'm gone, let's check back in with Travis for more awards.
Yes, I return.
Los palos es marketing. O sea, ahí tienes la recompensa del marketing. Todos.
Snacks on the main stage. If any tech people want to render some food on mine, that would be great. Just not coconuts. It's all I've had to eat on my Animal Crossing island for 6 months, and the results are not pretty. Anyway, let's get on and announce the winners of a few more awards. So we will start with Esports Game of the Year. The nominees are Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, FIFA 20, Counter-Strike Global Offensive,
aquí se lo va a llevar
League of
fijo
Legends,
el puto
NTT IndyCar Series iRacing, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Valorant, Fortnite, and the winner is Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Venga, compro. No te digo que no.
Next, we are clicking like and subscribe for Best New Streamer or Broadcaster. The nominees are Shiv FPS, Nega Oryx, Queen Eliminator.
Ah, no está
Steve
Ibai.
and Spawn. I am
Si no está
Brandon.
Ibai, no me
Hello,
vale.
it's Colo. Dovari. Big Cheese Kit. And the winner is... I am Brandon.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brandon. I just want to say thank you so much to Games Radar and the Golden Joystick Awards for awarding me the best
Juegos de
new
lucha.
streamer /
Pues vete a la
broadcaster
píldora.
award.
De
I
juegos
am
de
very
lucha.
shocked. I did not think that I
El de
was
los
gonna
juegos de
win, and
lucha
I was very
es
shocked
el
that I
del
was
mes que viene.
nominated in the first place. So thank you to everybody who voted for me. And to the other nominees, they're all great people. So please make sure you check them out. They're all great friends of mine. So make sure you check them out. But I am very honored to receive this award. This is something I've never thought I would ever have in my life. But I do thank everybody who has
Me mola la pedazo de
been
arcade que
very
tiene ahí
supportive
detrás.
of me and understanding my message of trying to bring more representation of POC for LGBT folks in the gaming and / streaming industry space. There's a place for all of us to enjoy games, and I feel that everybody should have that opportunity.
Es que a ver, estos son
to
los
be able to
Golden
find their
Joystick
dreams within
Awards
this
y luego
industry
están
and
los
make it
Game
happen.
Awards que son el día a día.
I really do appreciate this, and thank you so much. This is definitely a milestone in my life that I will never forget. And I don't want to be the first or last person to come through, as a POC person, as an LGBT person coming through here. There's more of us out there, and I hope we all get represented in the same way. But thank you so much, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Our next award is an E for everyone. It's Best Family Game. The nominees are...
Animal Crossing. Aquí es que esto no hay ningún tipo de...
Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. Moving Out. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Minecraft Dungeons. Pokemon Sword and Shield. Paper Mario The Origami King. Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. And the winner is... Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout.
Y no se lo ha llevado. Y no se lo ha llevado Animal Crossing.
Making something that was a multiplayer game for the whole family was really the thing that we
Ni
wanted
tan
to
mal,
achieve.
oye,
So
ni
to
tan
win
mal.
this award is really amazing. I'm going to go and get in the shower. Thanks very much for the awards, guys. Cheers.
Congrats to all the winners. Now, before we head back to the main stage, who's up for another exclusive trailer? This one features guns, drums, and guns.
Blood dice tabaco. No es por desmerecer, pero... Más rollo arcade. Sí, a ver, está guapísima. Me cago loquísimo. Eso es que es un Doom. Es que... Potencia tiene el cabrón. Metal Hellsinger. O sea que la música in-game es es el prota, vamos, el personaje. Está guay, pensado, sí, sí.
And to introduce the award from CD Projekt Red, creators of Cyberpunk 2077, please welcome Holly Bennett.
Hi everybody, it's Holly here from CD Projekt Red.
¡Hombre!
Now, in today's world, when we can't always be together, video game communities are more important than ever before. They give us a chance to escape and unwind and to reconnect with friends old and new. And one of the most rewarding parts about making games is watching those vibrant communities grow. And this award celebrates not only the studios and their games, but most importantly, the incredible people who form around them. So without further
Vale,
ado,
como el juego
here are
de
the
Zelda y
nominations.
tal.
Pero yo ya había visto todo exclusivo en trailer. Ya lo había visto.
Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Por cierto, se han puesto la chica esta de CD Projekt Red
Warframe.
con escote para que así recordéis mejor el Cyberpunk.
Minecraft.
Mira, se lleva Minecraft también.
Final Fantasy XIV. Dreams. Sea of Thieves. Fortnite.
Animal Crossing. Y lo sabes.
And the winner is Minecraft.
Oh!
Hello, Golden Joystick Awards. On behalf of Mojang Studios and Minecraft, I would like to say a big thank you for the Best Game Community Award. The Minecraft community has always impressed and inspired us, and their creativity and excitement is what makes our work so rewarding. Again, thank you.
¿Cuánto han comprado esto? O sea, han pagado estos para que les den los dos premios. Que no juega nadie ya, tío. Solo juega el sobrino de Kevin para hacer una mansión gigante. Ay,
What's my perfect music festival? Obviously, it starts with the music, the sound, the mix, right? We've got over 100 songs ready to go. From rock to pop to rap to reggaeton and all the loops.
Esto ya lo hicieron en su día con el DJ Yakeru.
I need to create my mix. Let me show you. I'ma start with that synth, this bass, those vocals, play around with the BPM and drop that beat. Now I need to look right. With awesome customization tools, I can build up my own DJ and work my way from the day shift to the headline set. And as I go, I'll unload some different clothes and accessories to keep my look unique.
Los trailers están siendo muy lamentables. Eso es el DJ Hero de PS3, claro.
Collabs with the world. My festival has a huge community from all around the globe that I can easily tap in for inspiration. We can even host epic sets together that anyone can tune into. And if they missed it, well,
a excepción de medio, que es un trailer guapísimo.
You want a music game that lets you do it all? Welcome.
Y los demás han sido un poco lamentables.
Next up is our first critically chosen award of the show, selected by the Golden Joystick Awards judging panel. This is an award close to my heart, but sadly, not close to my shelf. It's Best Performer.
Ooh.
And as performers ourselves, I thought Travis and I would present this in person.
Hello! 2020 has been filled with incredible performances. And I am not just saying this, but Laura, your turn as Abby in The Last of Us Part 2 was unlike anything we have seen.
Está nominada, de hecho, ella.
Amazing. Thank you, BB.
Yeah.
Your role in The Last of Us 2 was really good as well as,
Qué monos, los dos.
Giant Rattler.
Yeah, he's a fan favorite.
Huh. But this award isn't for us.
Nope.
And we thought instead we'd surprise our winner with a phone call. So here we go. Oh, hi, Sandra.
Hi.
Hey, girl, how are you doing?
Good.
Háganos la de Miss Marvel.
Oh, good. You know, we have a little bit of news to share with you.
Did you know, Sandra, that you have won Best Performer in this year's Golden Joystick Award?
¡Qué guay! Se la llevó Marvel Saber.
Yeah.
Kidding. Thank you guys for talking.
I would ask you how you feel about it, but I think you feel pretty good.
I feel pretty good. Just did my mascara, but whatever. Do it.
¡Qué maja!
Do you wanna?
Tenemos un Avengers reunion, esa. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, Vida Negra y Thor.
To who am I being recorded?
Yeah. This is all happening for real right now.
Wow. I cannot believe this. Thank you guys so
Menos mal,
much.
o sea, es que sí que es verdad que lo hace súper. Tiene que aguantar mucho del pobre Burkhardt. Recordad que a mí se me meaba encima el pobre. Dando vueltas ahí. ¿Os acordáis de eso? Qué gran vídeo. Qué gran bug.
I love my cast so
Hombre.
Sean so dang much and Bo Crutcher and like every single person who's involved here.
Nah,
like,
no es malo.
It's incredible. So like it's
Pero
not, this
salió
is
muy
not
roto.
for me. This is for all of you guys.
Do you have any idea what the phone call was
En la beta
about?
salió muy roto.
No, I thought this was gonna be another interview. I was ready.
Oh my god.
Like, this is a big one, so put your makeup on. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you won.
Oh my god. You guys, that's so cool. Thank you guys for getting Travis and Laura to tell me. Like, how sweet. Thank you guys. I love you guys so much.
We love you.
Oh, yeah.
And
Qué maja
I
es.
think we should watch some of your performances.
Súper muy bella que.
Okay.
I was just some weird kid from Jersey who didn't fit in. What if the Avengers were set up? This so-called cure? It's just not lining up. There's something wrong and I can feel it.
La verdad es que muy merecido, o sea, no tengo nada que decir. Si se lo hubiera llevado Laura Bailey por Abby.
So you're both just gonna walk
Pero
away?
esta, ningún
The
problema.
Avengers were set up. Cap was murdered.
You think I don't know that?
Es que tiene un pedazo de casting que lo
I
flipas.
don't believe it.
Que lo flipas. Jeff Shine de Capitán Marvel, o sea, de Capitán América.
Astounding proof.
Nolan North
I
de
suggest
Iron
you
Man.
get off my land. What is
Troy
that?
Baker de Bruce Banner.
Stole something
Cremita Fit.
off of AIM's server.
¿Qué pasa? Que no la han sabido vender el puto juego y le van a tener que hacer free to play. Lo que tiene que aguantar el hombre. Lo que tiene que aguantar el hombre, pero me encanta. Me encanta la relación que
again
tiene.
to Sandra. And a special mention to all of that game's superb cast, even you, Travis. Next up, we recognize one of the breakthrough stars of 2020. Please welcome to present the award from Mojang Studios, Lydia Winters.
Hi there. I'm excited to be presenting the Breakthrough Award on behalf of Mojang Studios and Minecraft. The Breakthrough Award is all about celebrating rising stars, with previous winners like Subnautica, Stardew Valley, and Untitled Goose Game.
La
And now
mirada de
it's
esta
time to add
señora
another
me
winner to the mix.
produce cierta
The
perturbación.
2020 Breakthrough Golden Joystick goes to...
Easy to play, yet difficult to walk away from.
Se ha hecho
Among
justicia,
Us
se ha
is
hecho
an indie multiplayer game set in space.
Ya está.
The twist is that each player is
Se me ha olvidado todo
privately
lo malo
assigned
de
a role as a crewmate or an imposter. You need to work together to solve tasks while uncovering and kicking out the imposters in your group. This game of
se ha hecho
trust and
justicia.
deception generated
Nada.
amazing word of mouth, and Among Us became as much a social platform for connecting with friends as a challenge of social deduction. Among Us was originally released in 2018, but broke out during this year's global lockdown after Twitch streamers realized the game's tantalizing potential for unscripted entertainment. Among Us has brought everyday gamers together with high-profile celebrities and even sitting politicians, all to enjoy what has quickly become one of the most popular games on Steam, iOS, and Android in 2020.
Hey
Mira,
everyone,
así me
thanks so much
mató
for voting
Joystick
for us for
tantas
the Golden
veces.
Joystick Breakthrough Award. We've been
Para
continually
Bill
surprised by the amazing community that's gathered around Among Us, and we'll never stop being grateful. Whether you played the game 2 minutes ago or when it first came out 2 years ago, we're excited to keep improving and giving back to all that have supported us. You're all crewmates in our hearts. And of course, a special shout out to our friends, families, and partners who have made this all possible. We're happy for this award to be a time where we can recognize all the people who believed in us. Cheers!
No te rías, cabrón.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you! For our next award, the judges searched far and wide for people who used gaming to make a difference in a challenging year. The Outstanding Contribution Award is a reflection of their amazing work. Let's take a look.
Oye, aquí hay cosas que no salían en la lista que hemos dicho antes, ¿eh?
With the gaming industry pulling together like never before, this year's Outstanding Contribution Award doesn't focus on an individual achievement. Here's just a few amazing initiatives from members of the video game community that both you and I belong to.
Back in June, we ran the itch.io bundle for racial justice and equality, which was a direct response to the murder of George Floyd and other acts of violence committed against Black Americans by the police in 2020. And I thought, maybe we could raise a couple of $1,000s and that would help. But what happened was the biggest bundle of all time. Closed with over 1,700 games from 1,300 different creators, and it raised over $8 million.
I think a lot of charities have struggled this year in particular to raise money because obviously live events haven't really been happening, so a lot of stuff has to have been online. And we basically announced that whoever pledged to donate the largest amount of money to Special Effect would get their branded costume added to Fall Guys.
We're doing what we're doing because we can. Why wouldn't we? If you need to know one thing about us here at 11-bit or Deadmage, is that we are pretty crazy about our animals. Lately, we have created with Deadmage to Children of Morta game a DLC called Paws and Claws. This DLC gathers funds directly for Humane Society International that helps animals, both domestic and wild. In just 1 week, we have managed to gather, along with community members, more than $60,000 for Humane Society International. And it's actually very rewarding to see how we act as a group of people that you can commonly name as gamers towards such good cause.
Of course, the industry has contributed more than just raising money. In 2020, we saw games work harder than ever before to become accessible and more inclusive. From The Last of Us Part 2's unrivaled options for those with vision, hearing, and motor accessibility issues, to Team 17 adding an assist mode to titles such as Overcooked All You Can Eat. Of course, social distancing made it more difficult for us to connect in person, adding to a difficult year for mental health. Here are just a few ways that video games embrace their role in building communities and connecting people.
Vale.
Hello, I'm Gary Witter, creator and host of Animal Talking. I created Animal Talking really as a way during the early months of the pandemic to try and put a smile on my face and the people around me during a time in which many of us really needed something to smile about and to cheer us up.
What we realized was that gaming is powerful in terms of its role of creating play in our lives, and play is a part of a high quality life. And so within a matter of days, just a few days, the team at Electronic Arts pivoted quickly and developed the Stay Home Play Together campaign.
Es verdad.
wound up booking some of the biggest celebrities in the world coming onto our show. People like Sting and Brie Larson and Selena Gomez. It's just been absolutely wonderful and ridiculous, and in the most delightful way.
We were encouraging people to heed the shelter-in-place directives, but also to get something else that they were going to be missing, which is that social connection. And humanity responded. Players responded. Existing players got engaged and great social connection, and new people came in.
The success of a show like Animal Talking, more than anything, really demonstrates the incredible power of video games to bring people together and to lift our spirits and make us all happy and believe in the power of human connection, especially now at a time when we need to hear that message, I think.
So we thank you and everyone who has worked so hard to make the world a better place in this difficult year. There are far too many initiatives and charities to recognise in one video, and we'll be doing our best to maintain an ongoing list of valuable causes on gamesradar.com. The road ahead might remain uncertain, but as our next contributor will tell you, it's okay to ask for help.
Hi, Joystick Awards. I'm Ian Wright. I'm here to speak to you today about loneliness. It's been a tough year for all of us.
Todos los futbolistas, en general, o deportistas, una vez se retiran, se meten a streamers.
We know that loneliness during COVID-19 is impacting some people's well-being. In times like this, it's more important than ever to reach out to others to talk about how you're feeling and how they're doing. Let's make sure we all look out for one another. Take a few moments to watch this video and head to letstalkloneliness.co.uk and find out more. Take it easy.
A lot of people around the world struggle with mental issues. Having been through a few tough times myself, I think it's important to be there for others when they're struggling. It's good to get it off your chest. And to come through it is a great feeling, and it makes you feel stronger. My name is Michael Keane, and I'm a centre-back at Everton Football Club. For people who are struggling, all I can say is speak to someone. You are going to come through it.
Vale.
Thanks to everyone who's played their part in getting us through this year. Now, I think it's time we have another exclusive trailer.
Vale, no sé al final quién se la lleva o quién no me quedó claro, pero bueno, el vídeo sigue bonito.
Mr. Evan Capnos, the owner of your identity debt went bankrupt.
In a system where you're in debt even before you're born, life and money are just synonyms.
Have you ever jacked in?
Mira, ¿a quién le gusta la estética cyberpunk? Ahí tenéis.
Your access to the blockchain will stay disabled. Your service weapon has been disassociated from your ID.
You see now, there's something bigger going on here.
Vale, no tiene mala pinta, pero bueno.
Still to come at the Golden Joysticks, the title you voted for as PlayStation Game of the Year, and an unmissable music performance from Harry Mack. Right, it's time for a console war ceasefire as we celebrate your most voted for picks on individual platforms. Here to present PC Game of the Year from last year's winner, World of Warcraft executive producer John Haidt.
Hello everyone, my name is John Haidt, and I'm the executive producer of World of Warcraft at Blizzard Entertainment. I'm honored to present this year's Golden Joystick Award for the Best PC Game of the Year.
Que te la llevarás tú también, ¿no?
We received this award for World of Warcraft Classic. It was a privilege to be nominated, and we were overjoyed when you chose us to win.
¿Ves?
As we look back on a first year full of new adventures, relived journeys, and the connections we made along the way, we want to say thank you to our players. You inspire us as we strive to make World of Warcraft an incredible place to visit. For a lot of 2020, most of our connection with the outside world has been through webcams. But in between those Zoom calls, we've been treated to some much-needed entertainment, incredible games, including impressive new releases from some of our favorite franchises. The nominees for PC Game of the Year are...
Luego se le lleva Half-Life,
Valorant, Crusader Kings 3, The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, Death Stranding.
Como si me detestas y me meo, tío. Me meo muchísimo. Me descojono viva.
Hades, Half-Life, Alex.
A ver qué pasa.
Paradise Killer, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020.
A ver. Es que no sé, o sea, no me parece.
And the winner is... Death Stranding.
Hello, I'm Jay Bohr from Kojima Productions,
Kojima, chaval.
and I'm truly honored to
Kojima.
accept this award on behalf of the entire Kojima Productions team. This has been quite a year for Death Stranding, and the reaction we received when we launched on PC was just incredible. And to win
Qué
PC
fuerte,
Game of the Year
qué fuerte,
is
qué
both
sacada de chorra.
surreal and extremely humbling
Qué sacada
all
de
at the same
chorra.
time. So thank you, Golden Joysticks, for this award. This is such a huge honor. I'd also like to thank our friends at Sony Interactive Entertainment and 505 Games for their work in helping us make Death Stranding a
Qué
global
sacada
success.
de chorra.
And I also want to thank our
Se lo
amazing
lleva el
community
año
for
pasado.
all the support you've given us. Everything you do, from sharing motivating messages
Fíjate que he
to
dicho,
cosplay
se la lleve,
challenges.
tal. Y lo he dicho también
These
antes al
efforts
principio,
not
cuando
only
estamos
drive and
repasando los
inspire us, but they
ya,
also
oye,
help
que
us
se
stay
vas.
connected as well, which we greatly appreciate.
Joder,
So from all of
Kojima,
us
joder,
at Kojima
Kojima.
Productions, thanks again for this
Qué
award.
crack.
We hope you all are safe and well, and please keep on keeping on.
Next up is Best Gaming Hardware. Thankfully, our next host is very easy to plug and play. From the publishers of Untitled Goose
Es que el
Game
Best Gaming
Panic,
Hardware.
it's Cable Sasser.
Hi, I'm Cable Sasser from Panic. The Golden Joystick for Best
Madre mía,
Gaming
qué
Hardware,
bueno, chaval,
I think,
qué
truly celebrates the tech that makes gaming tick. Although, to be fair, if your games are ticking, definitely get that looked at before the warranty expires, because that can become like a whole thing.
Ay, madre mía.
From eye-watering visuals of the hottest graphics hardware to, brain-melting effects of
Y esa
the
es la
latest
manera de que se
VR
lleve
gear.
premios años seguidos.
This year's nominees make gaming more vivid and also make our desks
Ya verás
more
tú cómo se lo
cluttered,
lleva
but,
también.
in a good way.
En
As
el
part
mejor
of the
juego de
team that
PC
makes the
en los Game Awards.
Playdate handheld gaming system, available 2021,
Ya.
we have a newfound appreciation of just how difficult it is to bring hardware to market.
Es el
From
viejo tema.
writing
todo
the
el mundo.
software, designing the hardware, working with the factory, manufacturing the tests, even packaging and distribution, it's a whole thing. And I think that this year's crop of nominees have all passed the test and made something quite remarkable. Now, one note, in case you were planning to get upset, you will not see the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X in the list of nominees. Extinguish your pitchforks. That is only because they were not available on the market when the voting began. So maybe next year, I'm sure they'll do just fine. Here are our nominees.
No, su bigote es un hardware estupendo. Mira, ¿ves? Lo que yo decía, era un joystick.
Airbus Edition. Razer Kishi Mobile Pad for Xbox. Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 2. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3080.
Por ahí votaban a esta gráfica.
PC
y por el
Engine
PC Engine Mini, esto ya es de coña, de verdad, es de coña.
Oculus
Y los
Quest
Oculus
2.
Quest, vale.
Vulcan 120 IMO keyboard.
Joder. Viene también para
And the
sonido
winner
y
is
todo eso, como si fuera una tarjeta gráfica.
NVIDIA GeForce
O sea,
RTX
perdón, tarjeta de
3080.
sonido, no tarjeta gráfica.
Hi everyone, I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Thank you so much to everyone who voted for the GeForce RTX 3080 as the best gaming hardware for the Golden Joystick Awards 2020. I've had an overwhelming response to this GPU from fans and critics. It's so positive, and I can't wait for more people to go hands-on with the 3080. I just want to take this opportunity to give a big shout out to all the people who worked on the 3080 behind the scenes, all the engineers and people developing this groundbreaking architecture. It's been our biggest generational leap ever, and it wouldn't have been possible without them. As well as the people who supported our RTX vision. 2020's been an amazing year for us with the new product, but also having titles like Minecraft and Fortnite and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War supporting this feature set, as well as CD Projekt Red coming out with Cyberpunk 2077.
¿Veis? Tenéis que tener la 3080 para poder jugar al Cyberpunk. O sea que si no tenéis eso en el PC, estáis jodidos. Ya, es lo que está guay de la
Next up, we're adding to our Hall of Fame. This award recognizes influential and long-running game series or developers, which perfectly summarizes this year's winner, Team 17. Let's take a look at their amazing back catalog, including the Worms series, which launches a new installment next week.
Yeah. ¡Garradas! Qué tardes más buenas echamos al Worms con la Holy Bomb. Aleluya. $25 años ya del Worms, joder, macho, qué viejas.
For our next award, we head to the blue corner with PlayStation Game of the Year.
Bang.
To give the award, please welcome Game Director of last year's winner, Days Gone, Jeff Ross.
Hi there. It's great to be here presenting the award for PlayStation Game of the Year. With the PlayStation 5 finally out in the wild, it's an exciting time for all of us to look to the future. But before we do that, I just want to look back and show how amazed I've been at everything the creators have achieved on PS4 and PSVR this year. From Samurai Adventures, to an infinite game builder, to putting us in the VR shoes of Mr. Tony Stark himself. It's been a year of unmissable experiences. And again, any game that lets you fly in the suit and truly feel like Iron Man has to be special. Here are the nominations for PlayStation Game of the Year. The Last of Us Part 2. Ghost of Tsushima.
Se tendría que llevar. Por favor.
Neo 2.
Es muy nicho. El Tsushima es más antes. Dreams.
Final Fantasy VII
No.
Remake.
Está incompleto. Ya me cansaré de repetir.
Marvel's Iron Man VR.
Esto no tiene más pinta, pero si lo lleva, pues mira, normal. Pero ya se va a Tsushima, por favor.
Spelunky 2. Fall Guys.
¿Habéis aceptado
And
Asier
the
o no?
winner is The Last of Us Part 2.
Asier,
Wow. Hey,
lo siento,
thanks everybody
pero
here
no.
from Naughty Dog for the Golden Joysticks voting us the PlayStation Game of the Year. It's been a busy year. It's been a crazy year, and
Me parece muy
this means
malo
a
que lo
lot
hayan hecho a
to
Tsushima.
us.
Me
From
parece
everyone
fatal lo
at
que le
Naughty
hayan hecho a
Dog,
Tsushima.
we thank you.
No se merece esto.
To
No se
everyone at
merece
Naughty
este
Dog,
desprecio.
we
O sea,
thank you guys, the team, at everyone at home right now, and just the love and effort that was put into this game. It's
no se
unlike
merece
anything
esto.
that I've ever seen
El
in my
pobrecito.
career, and just much love to the team back at home.
Yeah, I wanted to echo that. Thank you to everyone at Naughty Dog. Thanks to all our partners at Sony.
A ver si es verdad, a ver si es
for all
verdad.
of the support, helping us make this game and get it out there to people in this just like unbelievable year and these like crazy circumstances. Wanted to give a shout out as well to,
O sea, han metido pasta por debajo de la mesa, pues en fin. Te digo, transferencias de bitcoins ha habido aquí.
And honestly, shipping a game in these circumstances deserves an award of its own. So thank you guys so much. And thanks especially to all the fans that voted, all the fans that have supported the game, all the fans that have like written us letters or done cosplay or sending us nice tweets and stuff. We really appreciate all that stuff. And yeah, thank you all so much. Thank you.
Congratulations, Naughty Dog. Oh, that makes me so happy. I'm so
No, pero es que ya no se lo va a llevar Chushi.
Next up, it's
Ya es el Game of the Year, pero de PlayStation. No hay un
to
Game of the
present
Year
Xbox Game of the Year, please welcome from the Coalition, Gears of War
A
campaign
ver.
design director, Matt Searcy.
Hey, Matt here from the Coalition. It's an honor to be here presenting the Xbox Game of the Year. I think there's an achievement for that. Either way, one look at tonight's shortlist tells you what a great time it is to be an Xbox fan. Where else would you see the 2D majesty of Ori and the Will of the Wisps rubbing shoulders with the brutal moral dilemma
Que se ha vuelto a llevar Kojima un año después el mismo premio.
And the best news of all, more than half of these games are
O
available
2 años
on
después, no
Xbox
me acuerdo ya
Game
cuando
Pass
salió
right
el...
now. So you really got
No voy a
no
ir a coger.
excuse to not go and try them. Tonight's nominees are
Buah, chaval, como se lo lleve el Yakuza,
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2.
bailo.
Deep Rock Galactic. Tell Me Why. Leading Edge. Minecraft Dungeons. Yakuza 0. Wasteland 3. Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Que el Ori se tenía que llevar. Pero como se lleve el Yakuza, vamos.
And the winner is Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Hey everyone, I'm actually calling Thomas in.
A ver.
He doesn't know yet.
Un señor
No what?
que
Hey Thomas.
recibe un premio fumando en pipa tiene todo mi puto respeto, de verdad. De verdad. O sea, ya.
Well, I'm actually live right now and I got the news that we won
Míralo, tío,
the best Xbox Game of the Year at the Golden Joystick Awards.
Well, that's really cool. That's good news.
Yeah, let's what do you have to say?
Just awesome. I can't believe it. It's really, really cool. The hard work paid off, I guess.
Yeah, I think we should thank our team for super hard 4 years of incredible work. We should thank Microsoft for letting us making the game we wanted to make, and everybody that voted for Ori at these awards. Thank you guys so
and
much.
our families and all our friends and so on, right? Because finishing the game was not easy. So they didn't see that much of us towards the end. But yeah, I mean, I think we have some really great talent in the team and they have some great support as well.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you
Great
so much.
news. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Our final platform prize is Nintendo Game of the Year. Who's that
Aquí se lo
emerging
voy a
from
ganar
a
el
war
Crossing.
pipe? Why, it's our next host, Gary Whitta.
Hello, Gary Whitta here. Thank you so much for inviting me to present this very special award here at the Golden Joysticks Awards. I am just about old enough to remember from my rookie days as a games journalist in the late 80s and early 90s, attending some of the very, very first Golden Joysticks Awards ceremonies in London. So it's a very special privilege and honor for me to be invited back all those years later to present this very special award. And it's a very special award for me, in particular, Nintendo Game of the Year, because I am such a big, big Nintendo fan ever since I imported a Japanese Super Famicom into the UK so I could play Pilot Wings and Super Mario World before it was officially released in the UK. I've just been the biggest Nintendo fan, and that love for Nintendo, for those of you who have been particularly bored over the last year, will know that it even led me to create my very own talk show inside a Nintendo game, Animal Crossing, Animal Talking. What a lot of fun that was. So without further ado, please allow me to read you the nominees for Nintendo Game of the Year.
Vale. A ver. Es que además es que...
Paper Mario, the Origami King. Pokemon Sword and Shield. Animal Crossing New Horizons.
¿Qué dices? PC. Ejéis. También.
Super Mario Bros. 35.
Esto es un puto PC 99, pero cuando...
Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training for Nintendo Switch. Ninjala. And Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
Es que es todo lo que saca un Nintendo este año, o sea, que tampoco es... Y es que si no se le lleva Animal Crossing...
And the winner is... Animal Crossing New Horizons!
Vale.
Hello everyone watching from home. I'm Nicholas Wegnes from Nintendo UK, and I'm very happy and proud to accept this award on behalf of the development team back in Japan at Nintendo. As you know, lots of people are enjoying relaxing life, taking care of the island in Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is something that makes us very happy, and especially as well that we know the product is helping a lot of people to stay connected with their loved ones online or to enjoy basically living in that island in the We really would like to thank the Golden Joysticks, and really we would like to wish everyone to keep safe in these difficult times. This awards again for us goes to very talented developers back in Japan. Thank you so much.
Okay, before we resume the console wars, let's have another trailer. And it's a true Clash of the Titans.
Vale. No me puedo creer. ¿Me puedo Ultraman? Sí, el del anime de Netflix. No, el manga, vamos. ¡Qué guapo! Vale, vemos a los Toku Freakers y a Tokumuri, Spain también, estará ahí a tope, flipando. ¡Qué guapo, tío! ¿22 de diciembre sale ya? Ah, qué buena, para la siguiente generación, ¿no? Ah, no, PlayStation 4 y Xbox One. Sí, les tengo que mandar un clip, sí.
You can wishlist Override 2 on Steam right now. Speaking of which, it's time to remember that good things come to those who wait.
Most Wanted Game.
Wanted Game. Let's take a look at this year's nominees. Halo Infinite.
No. Siguiente.
Elden Ring.
No. Aunque todos los Souls fans lo están esperando.
Horizon Forbidden West.
Sí. No es de Souls.
God of War Next.
Next, sequel.
Ratchet & Clank, A Rift Apart.
No.
Kerbal Space Program 2.
No. Ni sabía que era esto.
Resident Evil 8, Village.
Se hace que llevar, cojones.
Gotham Knights.
No.
Starfield.
No. De Bethesda. Vale.
Deathloop. Hitman 3. The Medium.
De Medium. Es que Medium, tío, es que... Es increíble.
And the winner is... the next God of War game. Sadly, developers Sony Santa Monica weren't able to record an acceptance video today, but we'd like to extend their thanks to everyone who voted.
Encima es un puto vídeo que no... Es un puto videojuego que no tiene vídeo para enseñar. Oh, por favor. Qué fuerte. Ay. Aquí se ve mucho todo el dinero que va por debajo de la mesa. Bueno. Lo que ha pagado Sony para eso. Venga. ¿Qué?
Ivania was my country.
¿Y ese Bison de pacotilla?
Because I made it so.
Encima de eso. God of War Next. O sea, es que no tiene ni título ni nada, o sea...
Dare they challenge me on my day of victory?
Esto no sé si es como un comandantes, pero qué coño es.
At last, with this, I will do more than avenge Ivania.
But...
the whole world will be Ivania.
Evil Genius 2 World Domination. Solo para PC. Vale.
Speaking of evil geniuses, next up is Critics' Choice, which is chosen by our panel of journalists from GamesRadar.com, PCGamer.com, and other future gaming brands. You may know our critics from such previous works as the numbers you get cross about.
No, pero esto está claro que va a ser de las
Here's their
dos,
pick
vale.
for best of 2020.
Da igual lo que me ponga.
Hades, I accept this message.
¿Me va a llevar Hades? Aquí tienes el premio de consolación. El segundo, porque se lleva de mejor idea. Vale.
Wow. Out of all of the incredible games released this year, so many of which helped us through the weeks and months during what's been a, let's say, interesting time. You picked Hades as Critics' Choice in the Golden Joysticks Awards. That's amazing. Thank you so much to the judges. we loved working on this game. It was a game designed around the people that we have on our team, a game that we felt we could do in a particular way, kind of in our own style. We've always looked for that quality in the games we've made. And once we felt like we were on a solid enough foundation with what we were doing, we started jamming Hades full of small little details, even knowing that
si no acaba apareciendo en plan
encounter many of them.
De Strangis en el Game Pass.
Because we figure it's those small details that we often think back on when it comes to thinking about our favorite games. So have enough of them in there, and maybe you'll run into one or two as you play. And apparently that worked out. We're about 20 people at Supergiant, but really a lot more people than that contributed to making this game a reality. There's our amazing voice cast that brought our characters to life. There's our tireless QA team that had to discover every nook and cranny in our biggest game ever. There's our partners and friends in the development community who answered our non-stop questions about how to run an early access game, since we've never done that before. And of course, there's our amazing player community, including our community translators and beta testers who kept us focused, kept us working on the stuff that mattered, and gave us invaluable feedback every step of the way. And special shout out to our families. This game is about family, and without our families, this game couldn't have happened. They supported us all the way through. So to our collaborators, to my colleagues, to our community, congratulations and thank you so much for helping make this game real.
Vale, venga.
Before we reveal the ultimate game of the year, we have one final trailer of the night. If you like things spooky and next gen, this is for you.
Peggy 18.
Sí, es que un poco creepy ya es.
The lake is where the lady lives. A dangerous place. I don't understand why Nanny would let me go swimming there. Strangely, all the fish died this summer. It smells horrible there now, like death. My room was so cozy and comfortable back then. Piece by piece. I need to get it out. I need to make that pain go away.
Creo que están cantando ya mi canción. Marta Esté. Tío. Ah, vale. Para tú.
We're delighted to announce that Martha is Dead is coming to PS5, and you can wishlist it on Steam right now. Well, in 5 minutes, because right now we've reached the final award of the night. Don't worry, this isn't when I reveal a second playable post and you have to do the whole show again. Although I will ask Travis to join me again for Ultimate Game of the Year.
Hello, I have made it back to the main stage. Throughout tonight's awards, we have celebrated the individual disciplines of game creation, but this is where all those skills meet for a moment of video game perfection.
This was our biggest Ultimate Game of the Year list ever, spanning 20 games. And you cast millions of votes to pick the one title that came to define 2020. In recognition of a year where games have meant more than ever before, let's count down the top 5 games to reveal our ultimate winner. At number 5, it's
Ghost of Tsushima.
Vale. Ha quedado en quinta posición.
At number 4, it's
Doom Eternal.
¿En serio?
At
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Joder, macho.
And at number 2, it's
Genshin Impact.
¿Perdona?
But the winner of Ultimate Game of the Year 2020
De las
is
Tofas parte 2.
The Last of Us Part 2.
Y ya está. Es que estaba cantado 3 primeros atrás.
I am not gonna lie. This is pretty sweet. I guess for one, it's just amazing to be.
Se ha puesto las gafas para cambiar un poco, ¿no?
It's been an incredible year for games, and we are fans of every single other game on this list. To the team,
Genshin Impact.
to my team, to our team that
Mejor que el Ghost of
pour their heart and soul into this game.
Mejor que el Final Fantasy
I know you
VII.
guys don't do it for the sales or for these awards, but I hope this is some form of validation of the
Estoy
thing that we
flipando, de
made.
verdad.
I could not be prouder of this game.
Me dices que metes ahí en Animal Crossing,
and
voy a
how
ganar.
they lifted each other up
Genshin
when we needed to, throughout making it, throughout launching it.
Voy a tener que
and
jugarlo ya y
post-launching
todo.
it.
Lo tengo descargado, pero no he empezado.
You guys are my family.
Porque lo quise jugar
Before I
y
forget also,
de
speaking
repente
of
estaba en
family,
mantenimiento, se olvidó.
our cast, and I especially want to give a shout out to Ashley Johnson and Laura Bailey, who just killed it in more ways than one, is Ellie and Abby. The game would not be what it is without your guys' contributions, your amazing performances. And then I guess finally, since I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing from me, let's wrap it up. Thank you to every single fan that voted for us. This being a fan award, you have no idea what it means to me and the rest of the team, and we will keep working hard to make you proud.
Sí, claro.
Thank you.
And as we crown your ultimate game of the year, we wave goodbye to the 38th annual Golden Joystick Awards. Whether you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, or GamesRadar.com, thank you for joining us on the virtual stage and making your voice known by voting.
You can head to GamesRadar.com for a recap of this year's show and more details on our amazing trailers. Congratulations again to all the winners. Thanks to all the nominees for another great year of gaming.
Before we say goodbye for good, we've got one last treat in store. To help play out the 38th annual Golden Joysticks and recap everything that happened, it's the sensational Harry Mack. Enjoy the performance, and we'll see you again next year. Good night.
No sé si esto me va a petar por copyright. Pero... No sé. Hay cosas que la verdad es que han...
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, people out there? My name is Harry Mack. It's an honor and blessing for me to be rocking for y'all now at the Golden Joystick Awards. How's everybody feeling? What an incredible event. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
Ah, genial, me encanta, o sea...
My name is Harry Mack. And we're gonna
Directamente no le pone ni nada, es como...
Yes, indeed.
Ahí está.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Harry Mack. I am a freestyle rapper, which means I'm known for improvising lyrics off the top of my head without a plan.
Vale, vamos a silenciar al señor este. Y bueno, lo que estábamos diciendo, que muchas cosas estaban bastante, ¿cómo decirlo?, cantadas. Otras que nos han sorprendido, como la de Kojima. Yo que me lo lía, ¿no? Pero da igual, no, tal. Pero sí. Es una pena, sinceramente, lo de Resident Evil. Una pena, pero más pena me da lo de Ghost of Tsushima, que me parece un juegazo. Y que lo hayan ninguneado de esa manera. O sea, no se lo merece, de verdad. Para nada. Algo se tenía que haber llegado a Tsushima. Esperemos que el día 10, que tendremos directos, seguro, En los Game Awards, pues la cosa cambia un poco y está algo más repartido. Porque aquí, vamos, no ha habido absolutamente nada que decir. ¿Sabéis qué? Que me voy a poner así mejor. Pues eso, que ha habido cosas que nos han sorprendido, otras que estaban muy cantadas. Pero bueno, más o menos me alegra en haberme equivocado en algunos aspectos. Sobre todo por la quiniela que hemos hecho al principio, mientras hacíamos tiempo a que empezara esto. De hecho, también con los Game Awards haremos lo mismo. Haremos una pequeña así quiniela pues, de lo que esperamos que se pueda llevar o no. Y luego ya, pues nos sorprenderá. Pero me ha dado pena. Me ha dado pena y que lo del Best Performance. Que, ojo, o sea, yo no digo nada que no se le haya llamado a la chica esta. De Marvel's Avengers. Pero haber puesto un pequeño clip de cada nominado. No sé. Me parece una manera de... No sé cómo decirlo. Demostrar el trabajo de la gente. Porque no solamente... pues eso. Los desarrolladores pues, se dedican pues eso, a crear un juego de cero y llevarlo a la realidad. Pero es que en muchos aspectos esa gente, los actores de doblaje, crean vida. Y dan vida a esos personajes. O sea que... Y hablo en cualquier idioma, no solamente en inglés, que conste. Entonces, es una pena, un pequeño fragmento, algo, lo que sea. No habría estado de más. Y no tendría además por qué ser tampoco... pues eso, spoiler. Me refiero por lo de alguien. Pero bueno, han hecho así, pues ya está. Esperemos que el año que viene, una vez que todo esto vaya pasando poco a poco, pues lo hagan mejor. Poco más que decir, gente, que yo me voy a despedir de todos vosotros, me voy a ir a cenar, que son las 12 menos 20 y estoy sin cenar todavía. Pues me voy a ir a cenar y me despido de todos vosotros hasta mañana, ¿vale? Que mañana sí habrá Tsushima. Sí. Ya veremos si igual empiezo antes o no, pero lo que pasa es que hoy, como había esto, no quería hacer directo doble. O sea, el directo doble lo voy a dejar para cosas específicas o especiales, ¿vale? Entonces, casi mejor dejarlo para, pues eso, de hacer solamente hoy esto y luego ya haremos Tsushima, ¿sabes? Va a haber Tsushima para rato, no es que para menor duda. Y luego el viernes tendremos Among Us y el sábado y el domingo tendremos Valhalla, o sea, tal cual. Y cuando terminemos uno de los dos juegos, seguiremos jugando a otra cosa. Pero bueno, pues eso, que me despido de todos vosotros esta mañana. Un beso a todos y adiós.